let's do a cheers to the Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
Check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM Nasty Big Hello.
It's Matt Static, AM Radio.
It's the Cool Bed Red Hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Those crack at 6 o'clock, I'm logging with some sirloin bites.
Good morning. What's going on, AM Nasties? Thank you very much for being here. Dustin Nielson with you. Lieutenant Eric is off for an extra long weekend. He's off today. He's off on Tuesday and I think Wednesday. Now next Tuesday and Wednesday, Trev gave me a look like, how's Eric get that much time off? Anyway, he's off today. He's off Tuesday and I think he's off Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday, we will have a special new co-host. Somebody who has not officially co-hosted one of these shows just yet, but it's going to be added into the rotation. We used to use Glue Guy, we used to use Gager. They have their own shows now. It's going to be a lot to ask them to come in the morning and then leave their co-host hanging. So we're adding a new name to the mix moving forward, and that person will be on the desk next to me here next week. So looking forward to that. But you got a little bit of me today. You get a lot of YouTube Trev kicking in as well. And hey, if you're watching over on YouTube today, let's hammer the thumbs up. Friday of a long weekend. We got a new song from Johnston and Victoria coming up. That's exciting. We're going to go there around 6:30. It's like an EST Year 2 song, a celebration heading into Year 2. Awesome track. We're going to have that for you as we work our way through the show today. I see Corey B already hit me up over in the nasty chat. Says, hey, I thought we were getting giant hat Dusty this morning. Trev, you want to go grab that big hat? I forgot to bring it in. It's sitting right there. So the big hat thing, I always thought the big hats looked ridiculous. And I was like, man, that can't be very comfortable at all. But I know, right? So I put it on yesterday. This was from our partners over at 780. Thank you, Trev. So this is from our partners over at 780. Look at this hat. Hometown Hockey. They made this for when Hometown Hockey came to town. So you put it on like this. You can barely notice it. What do you think? I like this.
Looks good.
Yeah, Trev. I think it looks. Thanks, Trev.
That's a new
I think
trend.
It looks pretty good too. Yeah, it's gonna become pretty popular. I think. 780. Well, first of all, they got tons of good like oil related hats. If you're looking to pick up something merch wise for your favorite player, it's SEVEN80.com. But I always wondered, watching guys wear them on like NFL broadcasts or something, how do they stay on? And man, that must be uncomfortable. But now I know how they stay on, and it's really not that uncomfortable at all. It's just like a foam ring inside the hat. It's pretty sweet looking. I'm going to talk to Awanik and see if we can get these for our next run of EST hats. See what he thinks. Hey? That'd be pretty cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a little tricky to see your face.
Yeah. I wear it like I usually wear my hats up like this.
There you go.
I feel like a firefighter. Yeah. That's kind of what I feel like. Johnny Alberta says, big hat or small head, Dustin? Yeah. You know what's weird? My head has been a point of debate for years because in junior high school, some of my buddies referred to me as small head. But ever since I met my nephews, the Godfather's children, they've referred to me as fathead. So how can I be small head in junior high school and fathead as an adult outside of the whole Barry Bonds steroid usage? And I promise you, and you can probably tell, no steroids have ever entered this body. All right, so there we go. It's real nice. It's a lot of fun, actually. It's pretty cool. I like it.
That's not all they brought by. They brought some.
They brought some other
merch.
swag too. They brought a bunch of merch yesterday. Yeah, Door popped by. He's loving what we're doing with the EST flyway to Los Angeles. He said he's had some of his buddies texting him, being like, "Hey man, can I get in on that trip?" And the Door's like, "I don't get to go. I don't get to make the decision on this." So, in order to get in the mix of the EST flyaway to LA, that's LA standing for Los Angeles. All you have to do is be listening for the keyword. We'll give it to you around 7:25 today. Then we'll give you another one on the ever popular Hangout coming up from 9 to 11. Then on EST afternoon. So I'm on a Zoom call yesterday with the Stampeders and Elks, and I was doing it from the Hangout studio yesterday. And Marshall actually came by. Trev, you weren't here, I think, when he came by. Marsh came by because Elizabeth had swimming lessons, and he decided to come hang with Daddy. So he sat in the big chair there from William Huff. Played his Nintendo Switch, and then when we're leaving, I guess I got sidetracked to a different sidetrack story. But when we're leaving, I said, "You know, buddy, you might as well get used to hanging around here. You might be working here one day." And he looks at me and he goes, "Daddy, that's what I told the guys. I said to them, this is my dream." I was just like, "God, I love you, kid." Oh yeah. So he's got a ways to go, but we had some kid from Nate come in yesterday. I apologize. I can't remember his name. Real nice guy. Anyway, he came in and he was meeting with Maddie about possibly doing his practicum with us starting in January. And I pointed to Marshall in the chair in the corner. I looked at this kid from Nate and I said, "That's your competition." And Marshall's sitting in the corner playing video games, dressed like Thor. He had a cape on and he had his hammer. And I said, "That's your competition for practicum, man. You better not blow it." So that was good. But anyway, the original story I was talking about, because you have a chance on EST afternoons to get that keyword for the EST Flyway LA. I'm sitting there doing Zoom meetings yesterday, and through the wall, I can hear Hernan getting fired up about the Oilers. It was awesome. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, Oilers season is officially on, and Hernan Salas is so fired up that you can hear him through the walls of the EST offices. That's what I like to see. Reed Wilkins Show, my favorite show in the city. They will have an opportunity for you to get in on the EST Flyway to LA as well. Look at all the guesses of Josh Clausen, new co-host. Look, Klaus is a busy boy. I mean, we can't hang that on Klaus. He's got to bring you the weather. Hey, speaking of weather, well, I guess technically it's not. Is it weather? I don't think it would technically be classified as weather. Trevor, did you check out the Northern Lights last night? This was a big deal.
No, we got a chat in the Discord last night. I forget who it was, but they said, "Everyone, go outside and look."
I know. I missed it.
And I did go outside and look. And I don't know if it's just because I'm like downtown and it's just light populated. You can't see, which sucks because confessions, I've never seen the Northern Lights.
Not once in your life.
Never. Man. And back home earlier this week, everyone was taking photos like in Lethbridge, Southern Alberta. You could see it, Pincher, all that area. And I'm like, damn, like every time I go away for a weekend and there the Northern Lights are. And then now I'm in the city and I can't see them. It's too bright.
Sucks.
It does suck.
I can't believe you've never seen them once.
No,
they looked amazing last time. I didn't get to see them.
So like a very vibrant pink. It's beautiful.
I was very disappointed because I didn't know they were happening. then I hopped online and I saw some people being like, yeah, the Northern Lights, it's starting to go down right now. And then I got busy, carried away with work. My wife loves the Northern Lights. And she'd already gone to bed. And then I saw people still last night at like 10:30 being like, you'll never, like, it's in all directions. So then I was like, okay. So I got up, I went up, I was doing some work, went upstairs, went outside onto the driveway, looked up, and I looked like I saw like the leftover chemtrails of the Northern Lights. I was like, damn, I missed it. Would have been a phenomenal shot. So yeah, congratulations to all of you who got to see the Northern Lights. Yeah, look at this. RBM texting a picture of his sister-in-law's backyard. Beautiful. Like the trees are lit up. The Northern Lights look absolutely terrific. Johnston says, guys, it took me 51 years to see the Northern Lights. That's nice. RCN. Wow. RCN. Look at these pictures.
The shots from RCN.
Look at the pictures RCN got. That doesn't even look like our planet.
Norman the Combine would like the one of the Combine.
The one with the Combine there is pretty sick.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. I can't believe I missed this last
Majestic.
night. Sometimes you just got to look up, I guess, eh? That's, man, beautiful stuff. I, in Fort Mac, used to see them quite a bit. Like living in Fort Mac for a couple of years, the Northern Lights didn't, I mean, the ones last night looked phenomenal. But, you know, a little bit of Northern Lights, it's not like I lose my mind, but those ones look pretty damn good last night. Strummy says, my wife pulled kids and I outside to see them. Just a real taster's choice moment. Jimbo is in it, says, everyone enjoying the Northern Lights. And then there's me freaking out at the possibility of damage to the grid from a solar flare. You know what's going to be really weird? If it's like a solar flare that takes down the planet at some point, but for like 12 hours prior to it, we get the Northern Lights. And everybody's just like, oh, look how beautiful it is. Meanwhile, there's some people like, you know, this is going to be the end of the world, right? If the planet's going to go out one way or the other, we might as well do it with Northern Lights. Be the most peaceful destruction of a planet of all time. I think that'd be real nice. All right, 780-218-9999. This guy says, hey, a buddy of mine took this in Cranbrook. Man, Northern Lights in Cranbrook last night. It's not even Northern. Incredible. Incredible stuff. Thank you very much for sending the pictures in. It's just making me more jealous that I didn't actually see this myself last night.
Apparently, when you're like up north, like in the Yukon, Northwest Territories, you can hear the Northern Lights.
Come on.
No, seriously.
Plus, when you're that far up, they're just called the Lights.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Because you're Northern.
You can't go any more Northern.
Can't have both. It's just the Lights.
Yeah, you see the Lights last night? But yeah, you can hear them. They make like a whistle or like a howling sound.
Really?
Yeah.
You learn something new about the Northern Lights every single day here on Edmonton Sports Talk. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us today. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please just tell your friends how easy it is. Bronx the Boilermaker says, why the new co-host? Where did Lieutenant Eric go? No, calm down. Lieutenant Eric is off today, and he's off Tuesday and Wednesday. It's called vacation days. And we're just going to have somebody new fill in for him next Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay? And listen, yesterday we made the big reveal of our mystery hockey guest, and it happened to be Bruce Boudreau, who was on the Wayne's World Up Close cam, if you can remember that back in the day. Yeah, there you go. YouTube Trev's doing the Bruce Boudreau. He was even closer. He was. God, I love Bruce Boudreau.
The photo that Surveyor Brett got and put on Twitter, literally, it's like half of his nose and then just his eye. He was that close.
He was so good. But Trev and I were talking about it before we started today. It was an excellent segment. Like, Bruce had some awesome insight. We got a little bit of wrestling talk. We're going to have him every second Thursday. So we're going to alternate Thursdays, Gazdick and Boudreau. You're welcome. I think that's going to be absolutely phenomenal stuff. So he was great yesterday. Terrific. So see, that was a mystery, and everybody really enjoyed it. So when we drop our mystery co-host on Tuesday and Friday, I guarantee you're going to be like, yes, right? Trev, you've been in the loop. You've been sitting next to the mystery man for the last 2 days.
This mystery man is a great guy. He was shadowing the last two shows, as Dusty had mentioned, and he's funny, man. I like this guy a lot. I really do. He's something else, very unique. I've never met anyone like him.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a very good way to describe him. Oh, too good. All right, let's lay out the show for you today. The Nielson Show, of course, today and every day, brought to you by our great partners at South Fort Chevrolet. If you have not yet checked out www.southfortchev.com, do you even support EST or our partners? I mean, you're going to need a new vehicle. That's how it works. And when you do, take your current vehicle out to South Fort Chev, drive a little, save a lot. Go see Daniel and his Nerf gun obsession and his great family-friendly team at South Fort Chev. Tell them we sent you. And they're going to say, oh, I was going to give you $12,000 on this trade-in. And then you go, yeah, but I'm a nasty. And they say, we'll give you $13,000 on the trade-in. And then you're going to say, well, you know, I got this truck out there for $52,000 in the city. And they're going to say, you know what? We'll give you this truck for $51,000. They're going to beat any price. And they're going to give you an extra $1,000 credit on your trade-in if you tell them we sent you. Check it out, www.southfortchev.com. Keep those guesses rolling in. Stormy says, co-host, RCN. He's ready to come out of the Oilers' closet. Jimmo says, guys, I want an annual membership. When is that going to happen? That's up to Awanik, really. I was going to try to ballpark an answer. It's supposed to be coming down the pipe here at some point in October. All the renew, you'll get the new merch package and all that fun stuff. So be ready for that. It should be popping up at some point. Send your guesses in for the new mystery co-host starting on Tuesday. This one says Brizgalov. No, I don't think so. T. Wilson is in out of Southern Illinois, sending in pictures of the Northern Lights. The Northern Lights in Southern Illinois. Unbelievable. All right, here we go. Morning announcements coming up. Jaunty and Victoria's new song. It's a good one. And you know how Jaunty just works magic. I mean, put it in the mix. Possible Song of the Year candidate. We're not even a full month removed from last year's Estes. And we've already got all these great candidates for Song of the Year. It's going to be a bloodbath, I tell you. A bloodbath for Song of the Year. We'll debut that around 6:30. Crack some packs for Wayne Sports Cards. What do I got for packs today? Here we go. Let's see. All right. Oh, I got these because I love it. Bill and Ted's Bill and Ted's. Jeff, you've never seen Bill and Ted's, have you? Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
No.
And I had to get these. These are pro set Bill and Ted's cards. So you can get all that fun stuff at Wayne's. So I'm going to crack those. And then I got, this is a new product, just came out. The Canada World Juniors Upper Deck. Going to do a pack of that. And this one just came out. Ooh, Connor McDavid. Metal Universe, the new 23-24 NHL Hockey Metal Universe. So crack all those coming up around 6:45 today. So that's where you look at my little table of fun here.
It's a lot of fun.
Got the hats, got the packs, got the tea, the water, the new small purple mouse that I purchased the other day.
Comes in clutch.
Yeah, well, this is nice because now I like to be able to sometimes do stuff on the computer that Trev's sitting at. So I've got a blue mouse for that computer and a purple mouse for this one. So I don't get confused by a bunch of gray mouses. So that's how organized we are around here. If you need a conch this morning, let us know. Maybe you're checking in from somewhere in the world that we haven't mapped yet. Chris Johnston's going to join us just after 7 o'clock this morning. Lots to get to there. Raphael Lavoie, classic. On waivers 3 times in 5 days. Somebody had put in a claim for him when the Oilers brought him back. So I would assume that team puts in the claim for him this time around. We went through it on 2 guys in a goal yesterday. By process of elimination, we kind of thought maybe Colorado. I mean, they're banged up. They're missing Lehkonen. They're missing Nichushkin. Landeskog's not back yet. Maybe. I don't know if it's out there yet. I don't know if somebody's leaked this. But do we know where he's headed just yet? We'll get into that. We will. We've got to build some sort of Elks Oilers Saturday parlay today. I got some great betting stories from last night. We'll share those with you a little bit later on in the show. One could be, that's good. The other could be, that hurts. But I got some other stuff I want to talk about there anyway. EST Flyweight LA around 7:25. 7:30 today, the Fan Zone. For fans first, 3 more games on this 4-game homestand to start the year. Get your tickets for all of them. No extra fees. By fans, for fans, no fees. Fansfirst.ca. The question today for the Fan Zone will be, have your regular season expectation for the Oilers changed with their preseason and their first regular season game? Right? Let's say September 1st to October 11th. Have your expectations for the Oilers regular season. I know a lot of you will be like, crank it up during the playoffs, go win the Stanley Cup. But have your expectations for the regular season changed? We'll get into that for the Fan Zone at 7:30 today. Herm Edwards, I texted him yesterday. He replied. I said, Herm, 7:45 Mountain, 6:45 Pacific, tomorrow morning. We're going to be giving you a call. He said, good, got it. So Herm Edwards will break down. So Herm Edwards recruited Jaden Daniels. We got to get into this a little bit today because we're going to talk about that game anyway. Commanders, Ravens, probably going to be the game of the week in the National Football League. And Jaden Daniels spent 3 years at Arizona State with Herm before leaving to go to LSU. So I want to get into like the very first time Herm Edwards saw Jaden Daniels. And if he does believe that he's going to help me win the Spite League this year. Awanik and I going head to head in the Spite League this week. I had Deebo Samuel last night. Woo! 76-yard touchdown. Only 3 catches. Only ended up with 15 PPR points. It was a little disappointing after the big touchdown, but thank God he had the touchdown. They weren't using him as much as I was hoping they were going to use him yesterday. But anyway, I got 15 points. Matty was playing the Niners defense. It looked good early. I think they ended up with like 3 or 5 points. So as of the moment in the Spite League, in a battle of, I think, the 2 best rosters going in the league right now, I am up and projected to win, like 70% projected to win over Matty. So fingers crossed that I don't choke it away this weekend. Kind of easy trivia from Mr. Mike. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda today. That hurts coming up around 8:30 today. And a beer of the week today, Cole Boyd from Bent Stick is going to join us and take a look at the Unity Brew. It's part of Alberta Beer Week and one of the packages that you can get your hands on. So that'll be fun as well. It's just Dusty and Lieutenant Eric today. And if you're a fan of 2-man shows, hammer the thumbs up over on YouTube this morning. All right, let's get into your morning announcements today for 100.3 The Bear. Edmonton's best rock, Yukon and McCord every single morning in their classic FM radio hijinks. And then Jess Jackson, who celebrated a birthday this week. She has you covered every day on the way home. Chris G has our back on the Colorado claim over on the Nasty Chat. Says Colorado just sent Kovalenko. Oh, man, they sent Kovalenko down? I just sprinkled him at 24-1 to win the Rookie of the Year. Oh, you can't win them all, right? It was a small bet. Anyway, they sent Kovalenko and Ivan. Man, if Ivan can't stick around, who can? Anyway, he says they just sent those guys down. So his guess is that it's Raphael Lavoie to the Colorado Avalanche. That's kind of what we're process of elimination. We are big process of elimination guys around here. Whether you're solving problems or you're trying to get to the bottom of a classic waiver claim, you can do it with the process of elimination. Last NHL action last night. The NFL, the Thursday nighter last night. Niners were kind of in control basically the entire game. Seahawks made it briefly interesting until that interception. Tough pick. Geno Smith, 312 yards and a touchdown, but 2 interceptions as well. Tyler Lockett, 65 yards. Noah Fant, who was the wheel spin yesterday, actually led the team in catches, but finished with 63 yards and did not find the end zone. The Niners, 3 catches for Deebo, 102 yards and a touchdown. Kittle, 5 for 58, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk, who has been a fantasy disappointment for those of you who used a 2nd or 3rd round pick on him. I have, 9 leagues? I have 0 shares of Brandon Ayuk. I don't have him in any league. I thought he was being drafted too early. Jordan Mason, who was just traded in the Spite League for a 1st round pick, ended up getting hurt, left this game with 73 yards on 9 carries. Isaac Guerrero came into the game, finished with 99 yards. I'm going to talk a little bit more about his 76-yard scramble late in the game. That'll come up during, you guessed it, That Hurts. We'll go there probably around 8:30 this morning. But the San Francisco 49ers get a much-needed win. Seahawks fans getting a real dose of reality over the last little while. I said it going into the game against the Detroit Lions. They were 3-0 schedule frauds, and that statement has been proven true. I know there's a lot of Seahawks fans out there, but a win over the Broncos in week 1, a win over the Patriots barely in week 2, beat the Dolphins without Tua in week 3. I'm sorry. Not impressive. Lose to the Lions, lose to the Giants at home, and then lose to the Niners. So both of those teams now 3-3 on the season. Major League Baseball action last night. Guardians, Tigers series now tied at 2. We got a squeeze bunt last night in that game. I have not seen a squeeze bunt very often. Guardians beat the Tigers 5-4. New York Yankees do advance to the ALCS. 3-1 win over the Kansas City Royals. They take that best of 5 in 4 games. NHL action last night. Pretty busy NHL schedule. Montreal Canadiens, after shutting out the Toronto Maple Leafs, they get scorched for 6. The Bruins get their first win of the season, 6-4 over the Habs. Los Angeles Kings, or should I say Anze Kopitar, beats the Buffalo Sabres 3-1. Kopitar, third period hat trick. My boy Quentin Byfield with an assist on the empty netter. Nice start to the year for Anze Kopitar. Buffalo is 0-3 to start the season. The Sens beat the Florida Panthers last night. Scary injury for Barkov. He was at least able to be up and off on his own with a little bit of help. They didn't have to stretch him off or anything, but he went heavily into the end boards and looked like one of the legs sort of got bent up a little bit. So we'll see how that plays out for Florida. It would be a big loss. Sheldon Keefe with the loss at home against his former club, the Toronto Maple Leafs, getting by the Devils 4-2. Utah Hockey Club, how about Gunther? 4 goals in his first 2 games to get going, including the overtime winner last night. Utah Hockey Club, 2-0 start to the year. They get by the Islanders 5-4. The Pittsburgh Penguins with an assist from Jesse Puljujärvi double up the Detroit Red Wings in the Red Wings home opener 6-3. Dallas got by Nashville 4-3 as predicted by Huss on the lock shop yesterday. Minnesota squeaks by the Blue Jackets 3-2. And I got to get to this Blues Sharks game. So sports betting can be a real wild ride. Many of you would know this, and we'll get to a little bit more with That Hurts around 8:30 today because of the football game last night. But I had a bet builder with our partners over at Cool Bet, so that was 5 game player props for the Thursday nighter. And I hit that, and you can now parlay these bet builders with just any other plays over at Cool Bet. So I had this bet builder from the National Football League that kind of was a no-sweat hit last night. But I had it parlayed with the St. Louis Blues, if you can believe it. So I'm on tilt a little bit last night because the Blues in the first period, Broberg had another point. The Blues in the first period outshot the Sharks 22-9, and they were losing. And then going into the third period, they were losing 4-1, and I was like, awesome, great. The San Jose Sharks, who suck, are going to ruin my big parlay tonight. And then what happens? A miracle happens. A betting miracle. A lock shop miracle, if you want to call it. A cool bet miracle. The St. Louis Blues score 3 in the third, tie it in the final minute, and then win that bad boy in overtime. Woo! That was the high last night. There was a couple of lows as well. Stay cool. Bet responsibly. But shout out to the St. Louis Blues for grinding out a nice come-from-behind victory. That was real good. All right, 780-218-9999 is where you can get in. Let's go. Hit me up there. Let's see. Yeah, see, here it is. DJ Petron says, you bet it's wild. I had my biggest bet of the year on the Blues yesterday, and it worked. It worked. Congratulations. All right. What do you want to say, Trev? You getting ready for that update? It's locked and loaded.
Getting ready for
we got big news. We got big news with Trev today too. We're gonna get into that coming up before 7:00. Another epic battle coming down the pipe. So we'll get to that. Johnston and Victoria's newest song will debut coming up next here. Chris Johnston just after 7:00 this morning. Crack pack for Wayne sports cards, and that's good. on the way next. Right now, let's get to a sports update with YouTube Trev for Nisku Glass.
This past year's first overall pick, Macklin Celebrini, made his NHL debut last night against the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini registered a goal and an assist in a 5-4 loss coming at the hands of the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini became the first overall pick to score a goal in their debut since Austin Matthews back in 2016. Elsewhere in the NHL, the Bruins defeated the Habs 6-4. The Ottawa Senators beat the reigning Stanley Cup champs by the score of 3-1. And the Toronto Maple Leafs got their first win of the season over Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils by the score of 4-2. And yesterday in Thursday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers defeat the Seattle Seahawks by the score of 36-24. Both teams now sit with a 3-3 record on the season. In the majors, Matawanic's New York Yankees have clinched a berth in the American League Champion Series on Thursday night after a 3-1 win over the Kansas City Royals. The last time the Yankees made it to the ALCS was in 2022 when they got swept by the Astros. And lastly, in Edmonton, it's McDavid versus Bedard. Both teams look to get their first wins of the season tomorrow night. Puck drop starts at 8 o'clock. And Trey Ford and the Edmonton Elks head down south for a game against the Calgary Stampeders. The last time these teams played each other, the Elks came out victorious with a 37-16 win. Nisku Glass is growing and now hiring. If you're a nasty that wants to work with other nasties and can cut glass and replace windshields, then we want to hear from you. Email your resume to info@niskuglass.ca or stop by our shop to apply today.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast, don't we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad cats like Wyshynski and Noodles. Captain can gauge it, maybe it's fun but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday mandate. Sharky's always on time, Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number one in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some hotfix and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the Canes? Marimella, Rapaport, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the north. All about them human person, Dusty go on. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
What say you, AM Nasty crew? And there's nothing you can do about it. Jaunty in Victoria. He's got a new one coming down the pipe here right away. People are guessing who my new mystery co-host is going to be on Tuesday and Wednesday. Calm down. If you're just tuning in on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com or on YouTube, Lieutenant Eric is not gone forever. He's on vacation. He's taking an extra long weekend with Thanksgiving weekend. So he's not in today. I don't think he's in Tuesday or Wednesday. So we're going to have at least Tuesday, maybe Wednesday too. Anyway, we will have a new co-host popping in for some fun. This is a good guess. William Mike Spear says, "Oh my God, Dustin's BFF Suits is going to be co-hosting." No, Suits is actually. You know what? I'll just bring in the loop here. We're flying Hustler out from Winnipeg to come in and co-host. Just kidding. That would be awesome, though. I mean, doing a show with us in person.
Have you guys done that before?
We've done a couple from Boston Pizza in Winnipeg, just the lock shop.
Oh, okay.
But I can't imagine doing a 3-hour show with Huss every day. Like, that'd be a lot of fun, man. That'd be a lot of fun. How you feeling about that update, Trev?
I'm not gonna lie. That was for sure the best update I've ever done, and I don't want to jinx it. My next update's going to be the worst one I've ever done. But yeah, I didn't stutter once, and usually that was my problem before. My pronunciation on every word I said was really good. So I'm feeling good about that one. I thought it was going to be rusty because I haven't done one in almost 2 months now. But yeah, I mean, that one felt really good. I smiled afterwards because I was proud of myself.
Good. Be proud of yourself,
Thank
buddy.
you.
I thought that was an excellent update. Excellent update. Wheel says, no show on Monday. LOL. I don't know if you're joking or not. I can never tell. Quick story about a T. So last night he was at, I think they were doing their show at the casino last night with Lieutenant Eric. And first of all, this was sitting in the studio today. They do that Dill Pickle hockey show. That was in the studio today. So I think Eric dropped that off last night when he's dropping off some of the equipment because he's going on vacation. So thanks to a T for dill pickle full of sand, I guess. Anyway, I was browsing Twitter last night. The Muzz was sitting with me. And she goes, hey, who's that? I said, that's Lieutenant Eric and Atif. And she goes, oh, Atif, Dill Pickle hockey show. And I looked at her, I said, how do you know that Atif does the Dill Pickle hockey show? And she goes, oh, I have a sticker of it. So yeah, there you go, Atif. My daughter knows who you are. Anyway, weird dill pickle that was dropped off yesterday for us.
Very weird.
Anyway, Monday is Thanksgiving Monday, so no shows on Monday. All right, let's get into that's good for the Italian Center. You know, we've had a lot of Italian Center pizzas, the take and bakes. You're going to want to pick these up. They're absolutely delicious. We've had a lot of them since we launched here because they're great partners. But I don't know if we've had one ever that was as good as the one that we had this week. And you know why? It's because we got that toaster oven going, right? So it's not like I'm cooking it at home the night before and then coming in and heating it up. That was fresh out of the toaster oven, and it was absolutely delicious. Shout out to the mystery man for keeping an eye on that a couple of days ago. It's hand-stretched, house-made dough, top of their signature sauce, and the best ingredients from the deli. The Pizziolos have done hard work. So you just need to throw them in the oven, and you look like a hero in 10 minutes. That's it. It's like 9 to 12 minutes for these take and bake pizzas, and they're terrific. If you've not yet tried them out, check them out. Italian Center Shop. That's good. You know what's good around here? Listener-submitted content. And Johnston in Victoria has done it again. He's calling it like the year 2, the second season celebration song of Edmonton Sports Talk. I'm pretty sure I know everyone at Edmonton Sports Talk is mentioned, but I think every show may also be mentioned in this song. So this is excellent stuff from Johnston in Victoria, everybody. Enjoy. Here on a Friday, some new Johnston in Victoria for you. You got to love it.
Afternoon just got a little bit more sweet. Turn and salad brings the heat while Gator brings the turkey meat. For everything Oilers, tune into the oil stream. And if that ain't enough, don't miss 2 guys and a walkie. If you're looking for insiders, tune in for Darren Dreger. If it's the NFL you're into, check out the coach, Herm Edwards. ESP Hangout with Tommy and Maddie. Added judgment to them, mix the shows more classy and chatty. Even Reed Wilkins joined the ESG crew with Jamil riding shotgun and providing the glue. Orange and blue and green and gold, pre and post game. Listening to our teams, they never gonna be the same. ESG rules E-Town with guys who got the right stuff. Folks like J.J. Brown and a Robin William Love. We're sponsored by Crack like A&W and Damon Bunting like McDavid and Ben Affleck. ESG's always big guest hunting. ESG and suffering from a sophomore slump. But if you so inclined, they say the booty blues bomb. The Italian Center, that's good. I'd go to Pro and Sports every day if I could. ESG's on location in your neighborhood. The morning show will give you your morning the year two celebration on and off the court. Hashtag City Association is your number one source. Standing on the shoulders of Holly and John Shore. EST's your place for all your Edmonton sports. They got it going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. There's so much going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. They got it going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. There's so much going on at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Holy smokes. Johnston in Victoria. Unbelievable. That's a good. He even mentions that's good in the song. I mean, Johnston is a bloody genius. How about the cowbell at the end of this thing? I don't know if the cowbell was going the end. I mean, that's your sound of the day on a Friday. I don't know if the cowbell was going on the entire time or not. Trev, how impressive was this?
I don't even know what to say, man. Every time he sets the bar every song that he shows us, and then he just bumps that bar up every single song. So like this is just impressive. This is masterclass. He's looking for the song of the year again, going for that two-peat. This is probably going to be the most stacked category at next year's Estes.
Oh, it has to
be. The song of the year. Like we already have I think 3 or 4 finalists.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's been 1 month. Like, who knows what else? Like, there's going to be some amazing songs that are going to be left out for next year's Estes. Like,
it's October 11th.
This is crazy. Like,
next year's Estes won't be till September.
Like, he just mentions all the, and like, kudos to him for doing that, right? Like, he mentions everything, every show, some of the sponsored segments. That was my first mention on a Johnston and Victoria song.
Let's go through and count it because he also sent me the lyrics.
Like, what the heck?
So let's count the show. Guests or show announcers, sponsors count here. Okay, so let's go through Edmonton Sports Talk, roaring to the top. Get ready to place your bets after listening to Lock Shop. That's 1. Trev, count these. 6 hours a day to 12 after only 1 year. They're like Pit Stop Pals, Machettes 2, shifting into top gear, Zacticum, Rapticum, and YouTube Trev. Taking a short drive with wheels out to South Fort Chev. Weekday afternoons just got a little bit more sweet. Hernan Salas brings the heat while Gager eats jerky meat. Jerky Gate even referenced in this thing. For everything Oilers, tune into the oil stream. And if that ain't enough, don't miss 2 guys and Joaquin. There's it's incredible. If you're looking for hockey insiders, tune into Darren Drager. If you're into the NFL, check out the coach, Herm Edwards. EST, hang out with Tommy and Maddie, adding Jasmine to the mix. Makes the show more classy and chatty. Beautiful. Even Reed Wilkins joined the EST crew with Jay Milne riding shotgun, providing the glue. Like, Johnston, unbelievable. Orange and blue, green and gold post game. James H. Brown, William Huff, A&Dub, Damon Bunting, Birdie Booze, the Italian Center, Pro-Am Sports, Riverhawks Weekly, Tommy Belzy, Hello Hockey, VIP Golf Show, McCourt, Curtis Stock. And then I like the end where he goes, standing on the shoulders of Halsey and John Short, EST's your place for all your Edmonton sports. It's a 10 out of 10.
31 references.
You got 31 references in there.
Yep.
John you're a genius, my man.
He's in the nasty chat, I see. Oh, man, you guys. Love you. And all the nasties.
Standing ovation for Johnston and Victoria, buddy. Well done. I mean, if you like what you just heard, hammer the thumbs up for us over on YouTube today. We are almost changing 100 here. DJ Petron is like, guys, Song of the Year is going to be a hot category the next Estes. It's been banger after banger. It's going to be like the Oscars the year that Shawshank was up for grabs. Was that not like a loaded year at the Oscars for Movie of the Year? I'm pretty sure that year was absolutely incredible. Amos Moses, brilliant text. Guys, it'll take something very special to beat the Atif Back to School remix. I mean, yeah, I guess so. We've got All Gas, No Brakes. We got Cavis Reed and the Whale and the Wolf pump up song. Brilliant. Now we got Johnston's year 2 celebration. And then, yes, we did have Atif's Back to School song, which was remixed by Johnston anyway. Johnston's looking to go back to back. I mean, he won Song of the Year last year for the 6 o'clock check-in. And now he's entered into the fray once again. Really good work, buddy. We appreciate everything you do, man. That's awesome stuff. DJ Petron says, yeah, Pulp Fiction, Shawshank, Forrest Gump, if I recall. Yeah, I think that was a loaded year at the Oscars. I haven't paid attention to the Oscars since. Outside the slap. Was that slap not at the Oscars? Is that when? That was an Oscar slap, wasn't it? Yeah. That was a tough look there. All right, 780-218-9999. A conch, let's see, a conch for Jason and LeDuc's wife. Guys, can I get a conch for my wife? Wearing an Edmonton Sports Talk hat at a cross-country meet in New Norway yesterday. God, you got to love that. I'm going to be completely honest. I'll go with a quick confession here for you. And we got Chris Johnston coming up, but not for about 15 minutes. When Maddie first got these hats, I was like, the first ones were straight brimmed. Then we got these ones. I was like, man, I don't know. But this has arguably become, and not just because our logo's on it, this has arguably become one of my top 5 hats of all time. Like it's like sturdy enough. I love this hat.
Changing 100.
There we go. I love that too. Hive Product Marketing. That's where we got our merch from. They're our official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Bzzz. Check them out. thehiveproductmarketing.com. Just a high quality lid. Like for those of you who have one of these already, you know what I'm talking about. Real nice hat. You're going to love that. All right. 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox today. 22 locations in 4 provinces across the country. And one great website, www.parisjewelers.com. Flexible payment options, including do not pay for 1 year. There's one more note I had here. Well, a couple more notes, actually, before we crack some packs for Wayne Sports Cards. 2 things that I want to discuss in the 6 o'clock hour today. One was I know we've been wanting to do the Handsome Man Draft for quite some time. We might have to put Handsome Man Draft on the back burner for one reason. And that would be Halloween's coming up. And do we have some sort of Halloween-themed draft? And my question for you today, and we will do Handsome Man Draft at some point. I really want to dive into that one. But what could we do for a Halloween-themed draft? I'm trying to think what we've done in the past around this time. I know we've done Candy Draft before. So now we haven't done Candy Draft. We haven't done Candy Draft here at Edmonton Sports Talk yet. Did we do that last year? No, we didn't. We didn't do that last year. So I guess we could do a Candy Draft. We did one at the old place, but the old place doesn't exist anymore. So we could do Candy Draft. I was looking like the draft, like scary things. You know, like you could draft heights. You could draft movies, like things that scare you.
Yeah, that's actually a good one. There's a lot of
different things. It could be like sports scenarios that scare you, like a McDavid season-ending injury. That would scare you. You know, like there's all that.
That's not bad.
We might be able to do something there. I was thinking of doing like bad guy draft, like movie villain draft. Have we done movie villain draft in the past? I'm trying to think. Not here, but I'm wondering back at the old place. Did we do movie villain draft? Like I don't think we've ever done a draft where I heard somebody draft Freddy Krueger. You know, I could be wrong, but that could tie into the draft of things that scare you.
Yeah.
Like scary guys could be a category. Scary characters.
Scary characters, all things scary.
Like Stay
I like
Puft
that.
Marshmallow Man.
Scary, costumes or something like that. I think
all things scary draft might be the best way to go for a Halloween themed draft. But if you have any thoughts on it, Mikey's in and says sexy costume subcategory. I mean, anything can be any costume can be sexy. You just take clothing away from you. It's ridiculous. The sexy costume is the laziest costume. That's what it should be called. It's a lazy costume. But I think a costume draft would be tough.
Yeah, that one's like that one's just so subjective. Like it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's just opinionated. In
an all things scary draft, you could have like a phobia category.
Yeah.
And,
sports category.
The scariest thing in sports. The scariest things in sports. Like Connor McDavid coming in on you 1-on-1 as a defenseman.
T. Willison says a 3-0 lead is scary in sports.
Some people call it the scariest lead in all of sports. So I think, interesting. Adam from the Hat says, guys, what about Halloween party draft? Movies, snacks, costumes, activities. Yeah, maybe.
That's not bad.
Let me put a few. Let me bring up the draft category on the phone here, and
I like this.
We'll put a few of these in here. The all things scary draft. That could be pretty good. All things scary. What was the other one? Halloween party?
Halloween party.
I mean, we haven't done candy draft over here, so we could do a candy draft, but that could be like an Easter thing. It could be a Valentine. Like, there's lots of, we'll put it in. Candy draft, maybe. But could we get 12 rounds out of an all things scary draft?
I think so.
Probably.
There's
open
so many
categories,
things that are
movie
scary.
categories.
I'm scared. I'm scared of everything.
DJ Petron says, guys, all things scary is probably the way to go for sure.
I think so.
I think so too.
Walking down an alley at nighttime.
That is yeah. Walking down an alley at nighttime. That's a good one.
I don't like that.
Oh,
so many things you can come
and
up
what
with.
other experiences would be like for some people? Flying would be scary.
Flying scary. Hernan doesn't like his flying.
Hernan hates flying, so he would probably draft. If he was in the draft, he'd probably draft flying.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Not being able to see the bottom of the water.
Oh, that is
All-time scary thing, man.
You know what I like? I don't like swimming in lakes that have seaweed that touch your leg.
Yeah, it could be a fish, like a huge, like a sturgeon, just ready to eat you. Terrifying. Or in the ocean.
What about the ocean? I was just gonna say, the ocean scares me. It's gonna be weird because you want to draft things that most people are scared of, not just yourself. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
For me, I don't now. Claustrophobia could be a phobia. That would be a phobia one, like if you don't like being in small places. All right. I think we're on to something here.
Scary draft.
We'll take a look at the Oilers' schedule compared to a week close to Halloween, and we'll try to sneak in what would we call this? The draft of fears.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Draft of fears.
All things scary. I don't know. We'll come up with something. What about ketchup? Where does ketchup go? With Connor McDavid, right?
Get that away from
I'm
me.
putting a late round flyer on it. Late round flyer on that one. Going down today in this office right here, the second installment of The Odds Couple, as YouTube Trev will face off against Zach Tacum. If you missed the Odds Couple video, it is on our videos page over at YouTube. It was fun. It was a best of 7 rock, paper, scissors in the first installment of The Odds Couple. Trev comfortably won 4-1. Today, the boys will be competing in a thumb wrestling contest. Now, how long does thumb wrestling take? Like, could we do a best of 3?
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking best of 3. I'm thinking
It'll
best
be
of
quick.
3. Quick chance for redemption if you lose the first one. But Trev will be the underdog once again. I'll set the odds a little bit later on, but Trev will be the underdog because Zach has like big, cold, clammy hands. I don't. I feel for you today, Trev.
Scary draft. Zach's hands. I'm scared of Zach's hands. They scare me. Honestly, and I get a full dose of that in like 3 hours here. So he's going to be all over my hands. You see these thumbs? I do not have big thumbs at all, man. I'm going to get destroyed in this. If he doesn't sweep, that'll be embarrassing for him. He should sweep me. I'll see what I can do, but I don't like my chances, man.
Now, does anybody have any tips? Zach won't be up listening just yet. He's writing lyrics at home.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any thumb war tips?
Like, do I bait him? Like, try and get this, and then what?
And then boom.
Right over top.
It really comes down to the hold, right? Because you got to hold for like a second or two at least.
I think it's 3 seconds.
Is it 3 seconds?
Always count to 3 seconds.
So I'll be counting. I'll count you out. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but that's the thing is slippery thumbs are going to slide on out.
I know.
I'm going to be like, it's going to just out of there.
So, I don't know if it's in the employee handbook at Edmonton Sports Talk, but you should chalk up.
Yeah,
good idea.
Up. No, I'll get him to chalk up. I don't need to.
You don't want to chalk
just
up.
You chalk up.
I wonder if it's in the handbook about us forcing somebody to touch Zach's hands.
It might be in the fine print.
Corey B says, loop around the side. Kind of just pop around the side, see what you can do there. I mean, maybe that's the case.
Does that look good, Corey? I'll get the strategies down. I got 2 hours here. He's sleeping. I'll get some practice in.
Yeah, well, this is the advantage you have. Your day starts earlier. Like,
yep.
You'll be primed and ready to go by the time he rolls in. All right, let's crack some packs for Wayne Sports Cards.
If you see a card store on the side of the road, you think, gotta tweet it to the crack pack, yeah. I'm tracking down all the young guns today, looking for the young So hurry up and sell it to get more money.
The Crack Pack is a little old gang where we can crack together. Crack Pack, baby.
A crack pack, baby.
Crack Pack, baby, Crack Pack. Crack Pack, baby, Crack Pack. Crack Pack, baby, Crack Pack. Crack
All right, let's get into the crack pack today. Got a few things. Got some Bill and Ted's cards that we're going to crack. All courtesy Wayne's Sports Cards. If you know, you checked out Wayne's. I was in there yesterday. Always a great time. I love. There's always that one guy in there. There's always somebody sitting at the table they got in there cracking cards in the house, right? Like right there in the store. Very nice. I usually save it and do it out in the vehicle. Anyway, I got Bill and Ted's cards, and then we got Team Canada Juniors 2024. Trev, you're gonna crack these ones, okay? These just a nice catch. Those ones just came out, and the Metal Universe just came out with Connor McDavid as well. So let's get into these. Just north of West Edmonton Mall, right there with the Italian Center Shop, the Boston Pizza. You know the spot, just north of the mall. So this is Metal Universe, and look at this. The very first one I get, Evan Bouchard in the house. If that's not a sign that he's going to get 100 points, what is? Mario Ferraro, Kyle Connor, Gustafsson, Tom Wilson, Owen Beck, and Elias Pettersson is what we brought down with this. What do you got over there, Trev? You got kind of like a little card cam over there. It's so nice and close to you in there.
Yeah, I like this. I'm not going to lie. Henry Muse.
Yeah. These are the World Junior ones, right?
Yes, sir. Malcolm Spence. Oh, jersey. I got a patch there. That's pretty sweet.
Oh, a patch card. Very nice.
Malcolm Spence.
Very nice.
Yeah, I know that name. Maverick Lamoureux. And, this is kind of cool. Tej Aginla.
Ah, beautiful.
That's pretty sweet. Look at this.
His brother was on the Reed Wilkins show yesterday.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's a nice looking card.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I like that. Malcolm Spence.
These Bill and Ted's cards I got are actually from the Bogus Journey. Disappoints me a little bit. Bogus Journey was not the original. Oh, no. It's actually got both mixed in. There's Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey cards. Okay, this has been salvaged. I like it. I got 4 packs of these bad boys. I'll continue to crack these as we work our way through the show. Fun 6 o'clock hour, everybody. It's a conch for everybody.
That was fun. Young Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
I just had to look that up. He looks, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's like a baby.
Oh, he's very young. Probably his first. Well, he had a couple good movies back then.
His career started.
Well, I think he was in Parenthood before Bill and Ted's. Hey, you want to see something funny with Keanu Reeves? Search Keanu Reeves CBC teddy bear, and he did like a teddy bear story for the CBC when he was a teenager. That's very young Keanu Reeves. There, I'm a big Keanu Reeves guy myself. Everybody knows that.
Nicest guy ever.
He just seems like such a good dude.
Yes.
Man. You know, he's like 60 and he's still banging out John Wick. Like, that's pretty incredible.
Pretty cool, man.
In those movies, for a guy who was almost 60 to be doing some of those sweet, sweet moves, pretty impressive. All right, Chris Johnston's coming up just after 7 o'clock here. Raphael Lavoie, where's he at? Who's claiming this guy today? We're going to get into that. Will he be placed on waivers again tomorrow? Who knows? We'll go there. We'll talk a little bit about the Winnipeg Jets disrespect that we got to. Lots to get to around the National Hockey League last night. And Connor Bedard rolls into town this weekend. What are we expecting? Year 2 expectations for Connor Bedard. I saw him try to pull off that Michigan in their first game. Didn't work, but he still had the balls to try it in game 1. Chris Johnston on the way, coming up here just after 7 o'clock. Herm Edwards around 7:45 today, and a chance to qualify for the EST Flyway to Los Angeles. That'll happen in just over 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
This past year's first overall pick, Macklin Celebrini, made his NHL debut last night against the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini registered a goal and an assist in a 5-4 loss coming at the hands of the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini became the first overall pick to score a goal in their debut since Austin Matthews back in 2016. Elsewhere in the NHL, the Bruins defeated the Habs 6-4. The Ottawa Senators beat the reigning Stanley Cup champs by the score of 3-1. And the Toronto Maple Leafs got their first win of the season over Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils by the score of 4-2. And yesterday in Thursday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers defeat the Seattle Seahawks by the score of 36-24. Both teams now sit with a 3-3 record on the season. In the majors, Mattawanic's New York Yankees have clinched a berth in the American League Champion Series on Thursday night after a 3-1 win over the Kansas City Royals. The last time the Yankees made it to the ALCS was in 2022 when they got swept by the Astros. And lastly, in Edmonton, it's McDavid versus Bedard. Both teams look to get their first wins of the season tomorrow night. Puck drop for that one starts at 8 o'clock. And Trey Ford and the Edmonton Elks head down south for a game against the Calgary Stampeders. The last time these teams played each other, the Elks came out victorious with a 37-16 win. The Sports Update brought to you by Greenplan, providing you with award-winning environmental and consulting services. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Greenplan. Visit greenplan.com or give them a call at 780-455-4292.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
On the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here today. Dustin Nielson with you. Lieutenant Eric is off for an extra long weekend. Dusty and YouTube Trev with you today. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. If you've not yet tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich, I don't even know what to say. You're missing out. It's absolutely delicious. Nielson Show is presented to you by South Ford Chevrolet. Check them out, www.southfordchev.com. Go see Daniel and his family-friendly team. Total chill, laid-back atmosphere. No pressure sales floor out there. You're going to like that. Drive a little, save a lot at South Ford Chev. You can text us anytime in that Paris Jewelers inbox. Lots of good text messages continuing to roll in. We'll sort through that. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us as well. And if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, please just tell your friends about EST and how easy it is to consume our content online. All right, let's get into our hockey insider and analyst today. Chris Johnston, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned sports memorabilia and apparel specialists, NFL legends. We'll get into that a little bit more with Herm Edwards when he joins us. But the boys at Pro-Am, so a name and a number on a jersey for you. Let them do that. Current name, legends, or even your own. Go get your own name. Put it on the back of a jersey. They'll do it. They might laugh at you just a little bit, but they'll still do it for you. Visit them in store to get it sewn up. Located in Edmonton at the corner of St. Albert Trail, 128th Ave, or online at proamsports.ca. I like to imagine the Cookson brothers like Ben Stiller in Happy Gilmore, where he's just got them all making blankets. Jack and Ken, and Jack's like, "Get back to work, Ken." And he's like, "My fingers are sore. You're going to sew these up right now." That's what you're going to do. All right, let's bring in Chris Johnston today with TSN and The Athletic. Chris, how you doing, buddy? Appreciate the time, man.
I'm doing great, brother. How are you?
Yesterday was an interesting day in Edmonton, man, as they get shuttled 6-0 in their home opener. You can look, there's 81 games left, but you can understand what it was like yesterday here in Edmonton, man. Not full-blown panic, but a little bit of panic after just one game.
Well, because the Edmonton sports fan, at least the Oilers fan, had a chance to actually feel pretty comfortable, right? I mean, did anyone say a bad word about the Oilers the whole preseason? I mean,
No.
Maybe a little bit. I realize there was some heat, some of the preseason games, maybe a little bit of mild concern, but come on. It was the one time in your life you're like, man, we got a great team. We were so close last year. Everyone thinks we had this amazing offseason, and then bam, they get punched in the face.
Now, one of the things that was brought up yesterday was, it's one game. Hellebuck was good. Skinner wasn't that great. But one of the concerns coming into the year was the blue line. And Nurse and Emberson looked like guys who'd only played 2 games together. Do you think they're still in the... Do you think, are they already in the market for a defenseman, or they got to ride this out for a bit and figure out what they're going to do?
I don't think they're already in the market, but they know they're probably going to be in the market, which, in some sense of saying might be the same thing. I don't think it's like they watched that game and now they're like, oh my goodness, is there going to be someone on waivers? Is there maybe a veteran that's unsigned? Let's go bring this person in. I mean, I think Edmonton looks at that game from the management's perspective, and they just see not enough execution top to bottom. Probably wasn't Skinner's best night. Like, it wasn't a game, didn't look like from where I was sitting, where they weren't hemmed in all night. It just, a lot of things didn't go right. Their best players didn't have great nights. And then you're right. If you came in with the worry about the blue line, like, it probably exposed some of your deepest concerns seeing those things. But I do think that while we'll be talking about this blue line and changes and players and targets, I'm sure right throughout the season until they make some moves, I think they're going to be patient for the time being here. And, a win tomorrow against Chicago, and everyone's probably feeling better anyway.
Yeah, until they lose to Calgary on Sunday, and then everybody's freaking out again. So we'll see how. I think they're going to get off to a real nice start. They didn't back it up very well in that opening night. There are still a few veteran defensemen kicking around out there, are there not? Like, just as free agents?
There are, and I know there's some guys that the Oilers at least have had discussions with. You got Kevin Shattenkirk out there, who actually was pretty dependable last year in Boston, played 60-odd games, 16 minutes a night, played a bit in the playoffs for them. Mark Giordano's very available. He's looking to land with a team that has a chance to win a cup. So from his end, I'm sure Edmonton's a fit. I don't know if he's as much a fit from their end. Justin Schultz, if you remember him from Once Upon a Time, he's still out there, and I think would entertain the right situation. And then you also have John Klingberg, who's working his way back from hip surgery. Depending how you look at that group, might be the most intriguing of the bunch. You never know what a player is going to look like coming off a significant surgery, but he's the youngest of that group. Still probably a month or two away from being able to play, but it was only 30 or 31. He's actually had a hip surgery earlier in his career and played very well after it. So, there's those. I think some of those players will end up at some point on rosters. Not saying they're coming to Edmonton per se, but those are maybe the flavor of guys that didn't get contracts in the summertime, but are still training hard to try to be ready now.
Chris Johnston with us on the show this morning. Yesterday in this time slot, we had Bruce Boudreau, and we were talking about the Winnipeg Jets, and he brought it up, and it was a common theme throughout the show yesterday, not to justify the way the Oilers lost, but Bruce brought up, he goes, he felt like people were sort of disrespecting the Winnipeg Jets heading into the season. I know some people would pick them to be the team that sort of slid out of the playoffs as other teams emerge in the West, but their special teams sucked last year, and they still had 110 points. Should we expect the Jets to be at least a regular season, not juggernaut, but, an elite regular season team this year?
Well, I don't see any reason for a big drop off there to me. There's nothing about their off season or the changes that have happened that has me thinking they're going to lose 15 points from where they were last year and then be in tough to make the playoffs. So, the way I view them is very strong playoff team. When you have Connor Hellebuck, who is one of the stud goaltenders in the league, we talk about a league where there's a lot of what ifs and a lot of creases, including a lot of teams that have cup, hopes. There's a lot of hopes and prayers in some of those creases, but I think with Hellebuck, you have a pretty reliable, consistent contributor. They're just top to bottom. I guess they're maybe not the sexiest team in a sense. They don't have one of the glittering superstars of the league, but they have a lot of good players throughout their lineup. And I think people underestimated them last year, especially. I didn't see that 110 point season coming. But certainly I just think they're in tough, like they're in a division with Dallas and Colorado. Like it's hard to label them as one of the top tier cup contenders, but I certainly think they're going to have another strong year. And I don't see any reason to think they're falling out of the playoffs, at least from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, you know what? With teams like Dallas and Colorado in the division, it basically comes down to those head-to-head matchups on who finishes where, because they should all do very well against the weaker sisters of the West, at least. Chicago Blackhawks will roll into town. We'll get the Connor matchup on Saturday. I think fans in Edmonton are very excited to see that. I thought Bedard was as advertised last year. Obviously, he got banged up throughout the season. Would have been great to see him, have a completely healthy rookie campaign. But what type of leap are you expecting in year 2 for Bedard?
A pretty sizable one. And I think because the Blackhawks, they were just such a non-factor as a team last year, right? It was clear they were in the draft lottery from about October 20th on. There was no mystery that they didn't build on it. They didn't have enough quality NHL players around Bedard. And so I think it made him, in some ways, I think that overshadowed his season. Obviously, he missed the 14 games with the broken jaw as well. But, he still finished with 0.9 points per game as a rookie. And so, I look at, he's now had a normal summer. He didn't have a normal summer leading into last year, all the hoopla that comes with being a normal overall pick. They actually have NHL players like Teuvo Teravainen, Tyler Bertuzzi, some guys on the blue line they had in the summer. I mean, certainly I'm not predicting this to be a playoff team, but they have a better foundation around him, and he's just going to know the league better. So I don't know what the right number to put on it is. It wouldn't surprise me if he got to 40 goals. It wouldn't surprise me if he got above 80, 90 points. Like, I just think he's as advertised. I don't know that he'll ever be better than a McDavid, but he's certainly in a very top tier class among number one overall picks. And I didn't see anything that concerned me last year individually from him. It was a tough season, but I think this will be a better year. I know they lost opening night in Utah, a couple empty net goals, essentially a 3-2 game. I think Bedard's going to really meet the expectations maybe in year two that greeted his year one. And I really don't think his year one, we probably slept on how good it was. Scoring almost a point per game on a bad team is not an easy thing to do. He's still the third youngest guy in the league right now too. Yeah. So let's keep that in mind as well.
That is crazy. One of the guys younger than him made his debut last night, a fellow first overall pick, Celebrini with a goal and an assist. The Sharks let one slip away in the third period against the Blues, who've had a decent start to the season. Different level of expectations for Celebrini this year, but how does he navigate through his rookie campaign?
I think it helps that he has, Will Smith there, Eklund on his line. I mean, the fact that it kind of gives me the vibes like when the Leafs started to turn things around, they had one year where they had Matthews, Marner, Nylander, at the time, Zach Hyman, Connor Brown. They were all rookies at the same time. I think in some ways that does make it a little bit easier because you got guys going through it with you. So I think for Celebrini, that's a big help. You can't help but notice too. I mean, his dad, as we all know, has worked for the Golden State Warriors. He's got, Draymond Green at the game last night. But this guy's growing up, around pro sports in a way that not, every top prospect would have the opportunity to. He's living with Joe Thornton. And so, it's certainly, I put the Sharks in the same category as the Blackhawks, and that, I don't think they're going to take some massive leap in the standings. I do think he's got a pretty good surrounding cast there. And you can't help but like the vibes when you get maybe a nice bounce off the defenseman's skate on his first goal. With
first goal.
Spin around pass. He gets another assist on the first game. I mean, they ultimately blow a lead in the game. So, you probably feel a little disappointed at the end of the night. But I think that this is all gravy for Sharks fans and for Celebrini, Smith, all these guys going through it together. I think brighter days are certainly on the horizon. You'll get lots of tastes of that this season. They're going to take their lumps too, but it's not going to be like last year's team, which, at one point was threatening like the expansion Thrashers for one of the worst seasons ever. I know they won a bit down the stretch to not quite be that bad, but I mean, it was a miserable slog in San Jose last year. And this is the payoff as you have Celebrini now. You're bringing some other talented young players in the lineup. And I think the fact they get to do it together is going to make it pretty special and fun.
Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils against the Maple Leafs last night. Maple Leafs come out on top in that one. What's Keefe's legacy? Like for us looking around the league, I was asking guys yesterday, I was like, who are you pulling for in this one? Like, do you want to see Keefe beat the Leafs or do you want to see the Leafs beat Keefe? What was his legacy in Toronto? How will the Keefe era be remembered by Leafs fans out there?
Well, let's face it. Everyone's going to remember that they went, 1-5 in playoff series with him as the coach. I mean, it's the story of this generation, this era of, I think the legacy really comes down to, they didn't get it done when it mattered. But then the flip side is you can look in the record books, and I believe he has the best ever coaching record among any Leafs coach that coached 200 games. So, they won a lot when it didn't matter as much, and they didn't win enough when it really counted. And so I don't know that there's not really there's not a hero or a victim in this story. Yeah. I don't think there's any bad blood, quite honestly. I think when it got to last year, quite like when they lost to Boston in Game 7 in May, I really believe Sheldon probably knew it was time. I think the Leafs knew it was time. They split pretty amicably. He got a new job in short order and is with a good young team in Jersey, and the Leafs seem pretty happy with Craig Berube. So it's one of these weird ones where there wasn't any drama or controversy. I think everyone just looked at the results and went, yeah, I mean, this is natural. This is the natural next step. You're not keeping your job when the team, just repeatedly falls at the same stage of the playoffs.
Chris, we can't let you go without checking in on the week of waivers for Raphael Lavoie. Put back on waivers yesterday as the Oilers tried to send him down, and they couldn't just send him down because a team behind them had placed a claim. Any idea, any thought on if he gets claimed again by that team who was trying to get him last time?
This is the strangest thing. I love waivers. I love the minutia sometimes. Like, I don't recall anything quite like this. And you now have a situation, and I'm sure some of the listeners aren't familiar with all the rules, but you're in a situation now where Vegas might try to claim him with hopes of sending him directly to the AHL if they put the only claim in.
I never even thought of that.
They have to at least think about it, because I don't think it's a case where Vegas didn't want him. They just didn't have room for both him and Cole Schwindt, who they ended up getting on the same day. So there's a world where maybe Vegas claims him, but maybe that other team puts a claim in today, and then he's back on waivers tomorrow. Like, it's possible. I don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, the only good thing of this, if you're Raphael Lavoie, I mean, you are truly in no man's land where you don't know exactly where your next team is or where your thing is, but at least you're getting all these days of NHL pay. If there's one payoff here, well, this is happening. He's making something like $5,000 a day instead of $500 a day in the AHL. So, I mean, his accountant will like it, but I'm sure it's not a very pleasant place to be if you're the player.
Chris, as always, man, really appreciate the time. We'll do it again next Friday. Enjoy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and enjoy Saturday. It's going to be a better day in Oilerland, I'm sure.
Well, it better be. We'll just say that. That's Chris Johnston, brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. Go check out the crew over there. If you have a jersey, you want to get your name on it, you want to get something, you want to get EST 12, you want to get EST on it, you can do that. Whatever you want to put on your jersey, the boys at Pro-Am, so the name, the number, get it all on there. Check them out, proamsports.ca in the corner of St. Albert Trail and 128th Ave. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, you can text your buddies. Let them know that's where you can get it. And, of course, you can text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. One of your text messages is going to end up winning text of the day today for A&W, where they've just created something so spectacular, nobody will even believe it. They put Ruffles chips on the Teen Burger, and they're calling it the Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Cheddar and sour cream chips, Teen Burger, one unique taste. Absolutely delicious. If you haven't tried this yet, you are missing out. It's exactly what you would expect. Yummy. You can also try the Ruffles Crunch Buddy Burger for just $4.99. So try one today at your neighborhood A&W. This is what they call an LTO. It's a limited time offer. So you're going to want to hop on that as quickly as you can. So think about that with Raphael Lavoie. If Vegas is like, oh, maybe that other team won't put in a claim for him, we'll put in a claim for him and we can send him to the American League. Trev, you have to think, you have to think Vegas just lets this go this time, right? They already brought in Cole Schwindt. That obviously filled up the roster spot that they were possibly having for Raphael Lavoie. I still think it's a Colorado thing, but can you imagine if Vegas claims him again?
Yeah, it's we're just going in circles here at this point, Dusty. Like Chris mentioned, I've never seen anything like this. I'm definitely learning a lot in this process. Like, it's crazy. I think I know a fair share about hockey, but behind the scenes and just all the nitty gritty rules that there are, I'm just like, holy crap. And the guys at the office here are like, so does this mean this? Like, it's crazy. The whole process, I've never seen anything like it. And you gotta, I don't know, like, it's for Raphael Lavoie. I wonder what's going through his mind right now. Like, I wonder if he's taking this like negatively, or if he's like, are there any positives that come out of this? So it's interesting because at the same time, people want him. He's getting claimed off waivers, but at the same time, as soon as he does get claimed, he's back on waivers. So it's like, do they want me? Do they really want me? Where am I? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I mean, everyone seems to be going at the Oilers these days. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets claimed again. I wouldn't be. I definitely think it could happen.
Well, what's interesting here is that a team behind the Oilers on the list of teams that could claim him put in a claim when the Oilers reclaimed him. So Colorado, Boston, Vancouver, Florida, Winnipeg, Carolina, Dallas, or the Rangers. It had to be one of those teams. As he goes back on waivers today, If that team puts in a claim for him, Vegas actually is ahead of them in the process. So they could claim him first. So, I mean, he could end up back with Vegas for a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's fascinating. And like you look at the numbers he's been able to put up in the minors, and that's it's kind of intriguing because he is a little bit of a question mark player. You don't really know what you got in him. You say he's a bottom, he's either a third or fourth line player, which he probably is, but I don't know. Like it's still a little bit of a question mark. He hasn't really played a heck of a whole lot in the NHL, just 7 games played. So what are you going to do in those 7 games played? It'd be interesting to see where he lands and what he could do on that team.
All right, what do you think happens with Raphael Lavoie? Hit us up, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Grumpy Cat says, guys, that didn't make sense. How can Vegas claim him and send him to the AHL? Isn't the point of waivers to stay in the NHL? He was on waivers again from the Oilers because there was more than one claim. Well, that's the thing. But if he goes on waivers this time around, as he is right now, and that same team has had a change of heart since the day before, then they let him slide. If Vegas is the only team that puts in the claim on him, they can send him down to the American League because they had previously waived him, I guess. I mean, and I've gone cross-eyed. That's basically what the situation is. KR says, guys, the real question is, why is Perry on this team and Lavoie not given a chance? Well, they obviously have Perry on the team for his career experience at this stage. Now with that, I thought he was one of their best players in the opener.
Pretty good in the last game.
He looked pretty good in the opener. Now, it's early in the season. An aging Corey Perry probably slows down a bit throughout the season. I think that is a path for Lavoie to eventually find some games here in Edmonton. But Sickler texts in. Morning, fellas. Have a great show and a great weekend. I actually have a real meeting today. Chelsea from the Hive. So a very productive day ahead. Love supporting EST family and their sponsors. Look at this. Sickler now, who pretends he's out of town all week doing meetings, is now making up in-town meetings with our clients. You're going to get caught, Sick.
When's the line going to stop, Sick?
It's as simple as that. You're bringing our clients into this now? You're
unbelievable.
Your facade? I'm very disappointed. We got the fan zone coming up. Herm is going to be on at 7:45 this morning. Trevor will update the graphic. But Herm Edwards coming up in about 20 minutes. We'll break down the Thursday nighter last night. The fan zone coming up just after 7:30. The one thing on the fan zone that we're going to discuss is have your expectations for the Oilers in the regular season at least. Some people were thinking President's Trophy. Some people were thinking first in the division. Through the preseason in Game 1, are you lowering your regular season expectations? Not taking away the fact that they're a cup contender or the cup favorite, but are you lowering your regular season expectations? I might be. I want to see where all of you are at on that one. We'll get to that with the fan zone. Let's go here quickly. And we're going to get into a full NFL slate today. All of our best bets, what we call our house callers TD, which is myself, Huss, Pat, and Jake from CoolBet. We'll each pick a touchdown score. We were a Kenneth Walker touchdown away a week ago from hitting that bad boy, and it's always a real nice number. But here's what I want the boys to put together for us for tomorrow. The odds aren't even up yet on this, but I'm getting ahead of it. We got to have an Elks-Oilers Saturday parlay tomorrow. Okay, but let's spice it up a little bit. We're looking at Edmonton Oilers to win, Edmonton Elks to win, Leon Draisaitl goal. Do we do the Leon Draisaitl goal, or do we go Connor McDavid in a battle against Connor Bedard over 1.5 points?
I like that.
I think that's probably where we go.
That's a safe bet.
So Elks win, Oilers win, McDavid 2 points. That's the EST special for Saturday, I think.
You can thank us later.
There's no player props up yet for the Elks Stamps game. Trey Ford is starting. I wonder if there's something else I can throw in there from an Elks player perspective. But right now, we'll keep it rather simple. But you'll be able to find this later today and into tomorrow, obviously, over at CoolBet. It'll be Elks, Oilers, McDavid over 1.5 points. Maybe I'll toss in a little something else, but I think that's where we go. I think that's where we start, and maybe we expand on it a little bit on the Lock Shop today. So watch for that over at CoolBet. If you've not yet signed up for an account at CoolBet, you're going to want to do that. CoolBet.com. Use the code LOCKSHOP when you sign up. You get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to $200. And start to make plans for October 29th. That is our next Lock Shop Poker Series event. This will be our third one. The first one was great. The second one was absolutely incredible as I live streamed all 4.5 hours of it. And that's the plan to do that again on October 29th. So make plans, put in your calendar to join us for the Lock Shop Poker Series event number 3. All right, let's get into the EST flyaway to Los Angeles. Trip 4-2. You and whoever you choose to come with you. Down to LA. December 26th to December 30th. Presented to you by the 780. Check out 780, homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand. Celebrates all things unique to E-Town and also have the huge hat. Boom. Look at this. Can barely notice it. You can barely notice it. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online, 780.com. That's SEVEN80.com. Any of their 5 locations. I saw somebody at Twitter yesterday at one of their locations. Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. Check out their Bird of Beef underwear brand. Absolutely as comfortable as you're going to find. And they're very popular, loyal to the Soil brand, which is part branding here on these hometown hockey big hats that they have. Looks like I just wear this to the store today. See what people think. And pop into like Save On Foods or something. See what type of looks you get. Adore from 780 was by yesterday. He walks in, dropped off a bunch of merch for the staff. Comes in, like looks at our place, our office here, and goes, "This is why I love you guys." He goes, "You're just like me, like just getting fired up, just getting going," which is awesome. Cardinals, Rams, Clippers, Warriors, Edmonton versus either the Kings or the Ducks, depending on the scheduling of that NFL game, because the NFL sets the tone. Flights, accommodations, all that fun stuff. Your keyword today is, and if you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart, pay attention to the spelling here. Today's keyword is cup, as in Cooper Cup. K-U-P-P. Today's keyword, Trev, toss it up. K-U-P-P, as in Cooper Cup, not C-U-P, K-U-P-P. Text K-U-P-P right now to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. And one of you, in about 5 minutes, will get a call from Trev, and you will qualify for the EST Flyway to LA. The keyword today is cup, K-U-P-P. Best of luck to all of you. On the other side, the Fan Zone. Have your regular season expectations for the Oilers changed because of the preseason and Game 1? What do you think? I'm not gonna slag you if it has. I think it's kind of understandable. We'll get to that coming up. Herm Edwards around 7:45 to set up another week in the NFL and recap the Thursday nighter, a Niners victory. It had to have it. Seattle has now lost 3 in a row. Let's get to an update for our great partners over at Park Mazda with YouTube Trev right now. That's coming up.
This past year's first overall pick, Macklin Celebrini made his NHL debut last night against the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini registered a goal and an assist in a 5-4 loss coming at the hands of the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini became the first overall pick to score a goal in their debut since Austin Matthews back in 2016. Elsewhere in the NHL, the Bruins defeated the Habs 6-4. The Ottawa Senators beat the reigning Stanley Cup champs by the score of 3-1. And the Toronto Maple Leafs got their first win of the season over Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils by the score of 4-2. And yesterday in Thursday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers defeat the Seattle Seahawks by the score of 36-24. Both teams now sit with a 3-3 record of the season. In the majors, Mattawanic's New York Yankees have clinched a berth in the American League Champions Series on Thursday night after a 3-1 win over the Kansas City Royals. The last time the Yankees made it to the ALCS was in 2022 when they got swept by the Astros. Also in the majors, the Cleveland Guardians kept their season alive with a 5-4 win over the Detroit Tigers. With last night's win, Cleveland ended a streak of 11 straight losses in postseason elimination games. And lastly, in Edmonton, it's McDavid versus Bedard, Oilers versus Blackhawks. Both teams look to get their first wins of the season tomorrow night. Puck drop for that one is at 8 o'clock. And Trey Ford and the Edmonton Elks head down south for a game against the Calgary Stampeders. The last time these teams played each other, the Elks came out victorious with the 37-16 win. The sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki. Lieutenant Eric usually says something funny here, and I forgot the liners, and I didn't come up with anything, but Mitch is a great guy. I don't know what to say.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says, like, he wants to be formal, but he's also here to party too.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
I've got something under my skin, and the itch won't go away. It's my original sin, the poison that I crave. Come along for the ride, I'd make you feel better. Cut the rope that I tied, but then I broke my skin again. You got me fiending for that first high, but the feeling's not the same. You got me stealing, killing, I die. Just to feel you in my veins.
Oh, Whale and the Wolf, EST House Band with you right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Nielson Show brought to you by Southfort Chevrolet. I lost their liner and I don't know what to say, but they're great people. Trev, you're such a beauty, buddy. Oh, that was one of my favorite things.
I stalled there, man. I didn't know what to say. I was like, oh crap, I don't know if I have this one. And so, like, as I was reading, so I was just like, that's all I could come up with. LT just makes it look like he comes up with them on the fly and he makes it look so easy.
He's a genius. He's a pro's pro.
Is. Like, so
yeah.
No,
that's too funny. That's too funny. Lieutenant Eric is on vacation today. We have a mystery co-host ready to fill in for him on Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So we'll get into that. That was awesome. All right. 780-218-9999. Text us in the Paris Jewelers inbox. We're about to dive into the fan zone. Let's get into the fan zone. Trev, bring up fans first. Then you can grab that qualifier. Then we got Herm Edwards coming up. Beer of the week today too. Hey, more beer for Trev and I. Am I right? This is exciting. The fan zone is for fans first. By fans, for fans, no fees. Get your tickets for the Oilers season in this first homestand right now. www.fansfirst.ca. You're simply going to pay less there than anywhere else. Fansfirst.ca. Here's a question, and I want your responses. Nasty chat, give us the thumbs up. If you're over on YouTube, let's get into it. I know it's the preseason. I know it's just one game into the regular season, but have your expectations changed for the Oilers' regular season outcome with what you've seen so far. Your reaction to 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Tag those text messages with the Fan Zone. Or if you're on Twitter, it's hashtag Fan Zone. You can do that as well. If you're on YouTube, throw in a Fan Zone because, I mean, I'll start the conversation. They have. Coming in to September, I was thinking President's Trophy. So I had the highest of regular season expectations. Are they still capable of that? Very likely could be. But am I still expecting that? I don't think I am anymore. I don't think I am. I'm expecting them to win the division. I'd like to see them win the division. I think it would be good for them to win the division and the conference and have home ice. That would be terrific. But my expectations now, after getting getting a brief glimpse at this team, I'm thinking home playoff games in the first round. Possibly second round. What do you think? 780-218-9999. Tag it with the Fan Zone. Ian says, guys, I'm going to say yes, but because other top teams are starting off slow, I'm still positive. Hashtag the Fan Zone. Yeah, that's probably fair. Mary says, I have PTSD from the game the other night and goodies for you guys. Hashtag Fan Zone. Twitter Mary coming through pretty big again. D White says, I think they can win the Pacific, but I do think the first 10 to 20 games could be rocky while they figure out their D pairings. And that's what I'm wondering. Like, will there be figure out the D pairings is one thing. I fully agree. I don't know if there's D pairings there to figure out. I mean, when you say figure out D pairings, it's like it'll all be okay in the end. I'm not sure with that group it will be. I'd like to see Stetcher at some point and see how he fits in, and I'm sure they will. The interesting thing is 10 to 20 games. Let's say the first 10 to 20 games are rocky. They still won't have to be in the position, I don't think, where they have to go into like supernova mode. The 16-game winning streak to basically salvage a season. An 8-game winning streak to salvage a season. Even if it's a rocky first 10 to 20 games, I still think they're coming through that rocky stretch 500 or slightly better. So then they won't have to necessarily crank it up a notch and have that sense of urgency that they seem to play so well with. Will they have that sense of urgency if they're like, we have to win the division? We have to win the conference. Will they crank it up a notch? Or is this a team now that you look at some of the other all-time, the great teams from other sports where it's like, they're going to be in the playoffs. So all that really matters is the playoffs. Will the Oilers be in that mindset and head into the postseason second or third in the division? I think that could possibly be up there. Tyler in Terwilliger says, guys, I think what game one showed is that they just may need to tend to the D-core before the deadline arrives. I don't know that this group can plug the holes and prevent the ship from sinking for that long. I don't think the blue line, maybe I'm too positive in this perspective of it, but I don't think the blue line sinks the ship. I mean, a sinking of the ship would be they're out of the playoff picture until they change the blue line. I don't think that's the case. Do I love it? No, I don't. But I don't think that's the case, that the team will be sewered because of the blue line. Will they not reach their full potential because of the current blue line? That, I think you could probably agree with me on. Hampton Steve says, guys, my expectations for the Oilers have not changed after game one. As long as all long-term fans know, the Oilers never do anything easy and struggle with outside expectations. So going into the season, while my expectation was for this team to be a playoff contender, I had no expectation of them winning the division or the President's Trophy. Hashtag the Fan Zone. Dashes in and says, the first game did not change my expectations, mostly because my expectations were that the Oilers would have another slow start. The team is worse. They are tired. Injuries are likely due. And this team always needs their back against the wall to get going. I've been saying for weeks that this is not going to be the season we all expect. That's in from Dash. Oh, Mary's here. She's at the door downstairs with treats. Yeah, run down quickly, then come back up. Do we have her a qualifier?
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's do that. Let's quickly do that. Okay. Mary, if you're listening, let's get to our qualifier right now for the EST Flyaway Los Angeles. Who we got, Trev?
We got JJ on the line.
All right, JJ, congratulations, buddy. You are going to Los Angeles. Well, you're not going to Los Angeles. You're one step closer to going to Los Angeles. December 26th to December 30th. NBA, NHL, NFL action. What would you be most excited for?
Probably... I think all of them really.
Yeah.
You just go day after day after day.
Have you been to an NBA game or an NFL game?
Yes, I have. Okay. I've done one of these trips on about a decade ago with my buddy, and great time.
Was it amazing?
Oh,
yeah.
We still talk about it. So, unreal.
Trip you'll never forget. Who would you bring with you this time?
This time I'd probably take my wife. We'd probably do it up, and yeah.
All right, man. Well,
someone different this time.
You're one step closer. Good luck, and tell your friends about the chance to win this trip with EST.
Will do. Thanks, boss.
All right, there you go. Hey, call me boss. That's cool. All right, congratulations to JJ. There we go. Next chance to qualify on the hangout today with Matthew Wannick, Tommy Gazzola. All right, we got the lots of good stuff coming in on the fan zone. I'll tell you what we're going to do here because it's a very nice conversation. We're going to circle back around to this. We'll circle back around to this. I think Trev probably wants to chime in on this. Go down, grab the treats from Mary, and then we'll get Herm Edwards on. But we're going to come back around to this conversation because there's a lot of good text messages coming in that I want to get to. Walrus in the Park says, guys, it's one game. I think we wait until both games this weekend and go from there. Hashtag the fan zone. Yeah, I'm very confident they're 2-2 coming out of the 4-game homestand, but I still think there's a chance they're 3-1. I said a 7-2-1 start in their top 10, in their first 10. So, I mean, coming out of the first 4, 2-2 would leave them some work, but this is not a crazy. I mean, their next 3 games are against non-playoff teams: Chicago, Calgary, Philly. New year. Different rosters, I get it, but this is not Dallas, Colorado, and Vegas rolling into town here to open the season. So you've got that going for you. So we'll circle back around to that question that we got into on the fan zone today. Have your expectations changed for the regular season for the Oilers after seeing them through the preseason and the first game of the year? Oh boy, what do we have here? What has Mary done? You get Herm on the line. Let's.
Nut free.
Is this nut free? Is Mary trying to kill Reed again?
No, nut free.
Let's see. We got red velvet cupcakes with cream cheese icing.
Ginger snaps too.
Dang, and ginger snaps. Both items are nut free and safe for both Jasmine and Reed if they choose to try them. Have an amazing weekend. Twitter Mary. The cupcakes contain gluten, dairy, eggs, but no nuts. Okay, so there you go. Reed Wilkins. You can come to work safely knowing we will not need to jam an EpiPen into your leg today. Twitter Mary, look at this. Look at this. It's a very well-organized box of goodies here. Mary, I will say, the chocolate chip cookies that you dropped off last time are right up there for the greatest chocolate chip cookie I've ever had in my entire life. Like, it was outstanding. Just terrific. All right, Herm Edwards is going to join us. Lots to talk about in the National Football League. We've got 3 questions too many, kind of easy trivia. We're going to revisit the fan zone coming up in hour number 3. That Hurts is on the way as well. Plus, Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. That is still to come this morning on the show. We're going to dive into the Thursday nighter, though. We've got the coach, Herm Edwards, brought to you by our partners over at Pro-Am Sports today. And if you're looking for NFL gear, they've got you covered. Your locally owned sports and memorabilia apparel specialists, NFL Legends jerseys from Mitchell & Ness on sale now. Save on names like Moss and Dion and Elway and Manning and more. Located at the corner of St. Albert Trail on 128th Ave or online at proamsports.ca. All you NFL fans, that's where you're going to go locally to grab your gear. All right, let's bring in the coach, Herm Edwards, this morning. Coach, good morning. How you doing, sir?
I am well, and I think if you're a 49er fan, you're well. It got a little dicey there at times, but they held on finally and finished the game and won. A game that they needed to win when you think about the 49ers. Last year in their division, they were 5-1. And this year, up until this game, they had already lost 2 division games. So this was a division opponent, the Seattle Seahawks, that they needed to win, and they got it.
Yeah, they had to have that one last night. Seattle. Now, what about where are you at on Seattle right now? Because they won 3 in a row, a little bit of a weaker schedule to start the season. Since then, losses to Detroit, very good team. Losses to the Giants, which was surprising, and then loss to the Niners, who looked like a little bit of a get-right game for them. So where should Seahawks fans be at right now?
Oh, I think they're fine. I think if you're Seattle, you want a little bit more balance in your offense. I mean, Geno Smith went back 52 times last night. That's not what you want, right? I mean, that's just too much for a quarterback. That's Aaron Rodgers the night before when we saw him go back when he threw 55 passes. So when you get into 50 mark, throw passes in the NFL, generally means you're losing.
Herm Edwards with us on the show this morning. When you look at the Niners right now, yeah, they're missing Christian McCaffrey. Jordan Mason, who's been great, he left last night's game. Their rookie had that 76-yard run to kind of fully seal it away at the end. Super Bowl contenders again, even with this 3-3 start, you think, Herm?
I think so. I think, this is a league that you can look at and you scratch your head and you go, okay, who would have thunk that in the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings would be 5-0. I mean, if you played that on your whatever card you want to play, it's like really the Minnesota Vikings are 5-0. They're the only undefeated team in the NFC. And I just think now, after week 5, you really find out what type of team you are. And this is where the coaches starts, because now you've played 4 or 5 games with your starters, and you have these expectations of what you want to be on offense and defense. But the reality is, are what you are after those 5 games. Now you're willing to massage your offense and defense to figure out what's the best strategy going forward now.
Great schedule this week in the National Football League. The game that I'm most excited to sit down and watch just as a football fan, Commanders and Ravens. The Commanders have been a phenomenal story so far. Your guy, Jaden Daniels, has looked outstanding as a rookie. Take me back to that process. Like, when did you first see Jaden Daniels when you brought him in at Arizona State?
He was a high school kid, when we were recruiting him, and he was while you're watching in high school, it was like, whoa, okay. And then we got him there in camp, and after about the first week, it was simple for me. I walked in the offensive meeting room and said, look, we're going to start a freshman quarterback. They looked at me and said, what? I said, yeah. And we had a senior and a junior there. I said, all I know is the eyeball tells me he's the best player. And the only way he's going to get experience is play. So let's let him play now. And I used to visit with him. I still visit with Jaden once a week. I told him, I said, you don't know this. You probably weren't born. I said, but there's this guy I played with back in Philadelphia. His name was Randall Cunningham.
Yes.
And I said, you remind me a lot of Randall Cunningham. And when you watch Randall and you watch this young man, I mean, same height, about the same weight, throws the ball down the field like Randall used to do, and obviously he can run. So you got a lot of positives for him.
Are you surprised at all with the success that team is having so early into his tenure, though?
Well, I think when you have a quarterback that gives you hope, it really rises the expectations of everyone on the team. And no one anticipated this, obviously. But, when you know Jay like I know him, this is not surprising to me. It's really not. And Cliff Kingsbury, it's kind of interesting. He was at Arizona with coaching Arizona, the Cardinals, when I was at Arizona State. So he watched Jaden a lot in college. So he knew what type of quarterback he was getting. And, from there, he's built the offense around him. He's allowed him to lead the pocket at times. He can play from the pocket. He throws the ball down the field very accurately. And then, his ability to process information is getting better all the time. So you see him developing. And it's fun to watch him, to be quite honest. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, this was the team that no one expected the Washington Commanders to be in first place. Everyone talked about the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Giants are playing better as well. So this is going to be a very competitive division.
Well, yeah, you know what? That's great. Great transition to the division because at the beginning of the year, nobody thought, the Commanders would be in the mix for the top spot. Right now, they look far and away like the best team in the division. How much confidence would you have in the Eagles and Cowboys this year to kind of get on track, I guess is fair to ask right now?
Well, the Cowboys had a big win against Pittsburgh. That is a big-time win for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the key will be how do they handle success, and now they play the Detroit Lions, right? And they're playing in their house. So if they could beat the Detroit Lions, that says something about the Cowboys. My poor Philadelphia Eagles, they're struggling. Now, they should beat Cleveland. They're a better football team than Cleveland. But they've got to get some balance in their offense as well. And, their problem is they don't rush the quarterback very well in Philadelphia anymore. So like 2 years ago, they had 70 sacks. You look at them now, they don't even have 10 sacks. And their secondary at times gives up a lot of big plays. So that's a concern there in Philly for me.
When you look at the other side of this Commanders game this week, the Baltimore Ravens, and we know the Ravens have been an excellent regular season team for a long time. They've shown glimpses of it in the playoffs, but they've never really been able to get over that hurdle. How much of bringing in Derrick Henry answers a lot of those questions, do you think, for the Ravens?
Well, I think now they have a bell cow that they can lean on, especially, toward the end of the game when you get into the middle of the third quarter, fourth quarter. They don't put it all on Lamar Jackson. He's been a one-man wrecking crew. He's been the runner, the passer. He's done everything except play defense. And I think it helps you when you have a guy like him because, he's a big physical running back. And now, when you think about Lamar Jackson, he can play more of a quarterback role and not the quarterback/runner of this offense. And I think it helps their defense. Their defense is not the defense of old of the Ravens where you sit there and go, man, you can't move the ball on me. So people move the ball on the Ravens as of late. So I think with Henry now, you got to close. You can close the game out, milk the clock, just by running him. And that's a good, that's cunning because the Dallas Cowboys had a chance to get Derrick Henry and they passed on him. Right? They basically passed on him. When you think about Dallas Cowboys, they don't have a runner. And the Dallas Cowboys have always had a runner. If you think about what type of team they would be if they had Derrick Henry.
Oh, man. they'd be pretty good. I think that would help. Yeah. Hey, coaching change with the with your old club, the Jets, this week. It's not like they started the year 1-4. I mean, they're still very much in the mix in a division that's been a bit lackluster. Do you think it was necessary? Did they have to do it? Did they have to pull the trigger?
Well, I think they look at their season right now and they're sitting. That division is a little bit of a mess. But they're 2-3, and they play Buffalo, and if they can beat Buffalo, they're in first place. After all this, I think this brought a kind of a wake-up call to them. You hate to see it happen to the head coach because defensively they were playing very well. It's their offense. Aaron Rodgers has gone back 96 times passing the ball in the last 2 games.
Yeah,
you can't do that because he's 40 years old. I mean, when he gets hit and he falls down, it hurts me watching him get hit. It's like, whoa. It's like they got to find a way to get more balance in this offense because right now it's almost like they want Aaron Rodgers to win the game. Like, he can win the game, but my God, you got to give him some help too because the offensive line struggles at times protected, and when you throw it that many times, 96 passes in 2 games. So if they can find, get it to Breece Hall some, let him run. That takes a lot of pressure off Aaron Rodgers. And, the Buffalo Bills, this defense is not the same. They're giving up about 124 yards a game versus the run.
Got to run the ball. We'll see if they're able to do it. One more game before we let you go, Coach, and that would be Cincinnati Bengals desperately have to have a win this week. They get the New York Giants. You mentioned the Giants. I mean, there's been some bright signs there so far this year. do the Bengals, they're a 3.5 point favorite. Like, do you think Cincinnati goes into New York and beats the Giants? Do they go into New York and pump the Giants? Or do they lose to the Giants? And basically at that point, their season's pretty much over.
Yeah, this is a rough start again for Cincinnati. You know, all season they talked about, you know, getting off to a fast start and they find themselves 1-4. Now, they got Joe Burrows, and that's always, you know, when you got him, you got a chance. But here again, you know, they got to find a way to, you know, really, you know, protect Joe Burrows and the fact that their defense is not very good. And Daniel Jones, for some reason, you know, he's playing better. I mean, it's like he looks like a quarterback all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, the jury was out on Daniel Jones now. I mean, he's been struggling for the last couple of years, and I don't know if his neighbors and receivers, and he feels more comfortable now as playing quarterback. So this is going to be a tough game for Cincinnati because Cincinnati's defense is, you know, they're vulnerable to the pass. And Jones is throwing the ball a lot better. So it's going to be interesting to watch this game.
Coach, as always, man, we really appreciate the time. Thanks a lot. We'll chat next week.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
There you go. That's Herm Edwards. He's one of the best in the biz, man. Good story about Jaden Daniels in there as well. Cincinnati Bengals, and this is it. I know it's week 6, but if the Bengals go to 1-5, how in the world are you supposed to make the postseason from that spot? Like, that's going to be really tough. I want to get to this text from Ducky. Came in while we were sitting here chatting with Herm. It's not football related, but we got to get to this. So Ducky texts in a picture of himself holding a golf ball and says, "Hey guys, I found this ball playing with Loophole at Shady Canyon in SoCal. Got to show the morning show." This came in on the Reed Wilkins show. Text in today and says, "Tell me you got this. Just got through security line. Turn on the pod." I had not seen this yet. Ducky found a ball at Shady Canyon in SoCal that has the name Dallas Aikens on the side of it. Now, other people aren't using, I don't think, name like balls with Dallas Aikens' name on the side of it. So that's a Dallas Aikens ball that he found at the golf course and texted it into the very show that has the Dallas Aikens Eyes remix. I mean, what is going on here? What a crazy day. What a crazy day. Man, I love talking to her. It's brought to you by Pro-Am Sports. You're looking for NFL swag? They got you covered. Jerseys from Mitchell & Ness on sale now. Moss, Dion, Elway, Manning, and more. ProAmSports.ca. All right, coming up in hour number 3. Show's moving along very well today. Lots to get to here, but we're cruising. Dusty and YouTube Trevor with you. Lieutenant Eric is on vacation. We'll have a new guest host in starting on Tuesday. You're going to love him. We've got kind of easy trivia. We've got 3 questions too many. We got That Hurts coming up. I want to circle back around to the fan zone again because I want Trev's thoughts on it. I want more of your thoughts on, have your expectations for the regular season version of the Oilers changed at all with the preseason and game number 1? So we'll get into that. We got Beer of the Week coming up. That Hurts is on the way as well, but we need somebody to play kind of easy trivia right now for Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever. I suggest you go there, you start, they come up and say, "Would you like anything to start?" And say, "Well, I'll have a 6 o'clocker and I'll get some sirloin bites." And then you have those sirloin bites with the sauce that they got to dip them in, and you're loving every minute of it. And then they come up and say, "Are you ready for something else, sir?" You say, "Yes, I'll have the classic Mike burger with fries." I think the best fries in the city. You're going to love these fries at Mr. Mike's. And guess what? You can get a gift certificate right now to Mr. Mike's. All you have to do is play kind of easy trivia today. Looking at the questions, I'll just say this. If you paid attention to football last night and the local teams here in the city, you're going to win kind of easy trivia today on a Friday. If you missed it, John T. and Victoria has a new song. We're going to play that coming up after an update for Claiborne Services with YouTube Trev. But if you want to play kind of easy trivia right now, text us 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Bronco Nick, Beef Nips, and it says, "Play Eyes for Ducky's Found Ball, you coward." Look, we'll do that too. 8:30 today. The song coming back at 8:30. We'll play the Eyes remix for you. All right, in honor of that Dallas Aikens ball found at a golf course in California, of all places. And we're in Alberta, and that ball was in California. and it made its way to us via picture. Incredible. Let's get to that update right now with LT. Oh, with YouTube, Trev. Sorry, buddy.
This past year's first overall pick, Macklin Celebrini, made his NHL debut last night against the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini registered a goal and an assist in a 5-4 loss coming at the hands of the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini became the first overall pick to score a goal in their debut since Austin Matthews back in 2016. Elsewhere in the NHL, the Bruins defeated the Habs 6-4. The Ottawa Senators beat the reigning Stanley Cup champs by the score of 3-1. And the Toronto Maple Leafs got their first win of the season over Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils by the score of 4-2. And yesterday in Thursday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers defeat the Seattle Seahawks by the score of 36-24. Both teams now sit with a 3-3 record on the season. Tonight, no games in the NFL, but there is some CFL action as the 8-7 Toronto Argonauts look to snap the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' 8-game winning streak tonight at 6:30 in Winnipeg. In the majors, Mattawanak's New York Yankees have clinched a berth in the American League Champions Series on Thursday night after a 3-1 win over the Kansas City Royals. The last time the Yankees made it to the ALCS was in 2022 when they got swept by the Astros. Also in the majors, the Cleveland Guardians kept their season alive with a 5-4 win over the Detroit Tigers. With last night's win, Cleveland ended a streak of 11 straight losses in postseason elimination games. And tonight in the majors, only one game. It's the Padres in LA to take on the Dodgers, and winner of this one will advance to the NLCS to play the New York Mets. And lastly, in Edmonton, it's McDavid versus Bedard, Oilers versus Blackhawks. Both teams look to get their first wins of the season tomorrow night. Puck drop for that one, 8 o'clock.
The quarterback/one.
And Trey Ford and the Edmonton Elks head down south for a game against the Calgary Stampeders. The last time these teams played each other, the Elks came out victorious with a 37-16 win. The Sports Update brought to you by Clayburn Services. Take your career to the next level with Clayburn Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program and work with peace of mind knowing they are an industry leader in safety. Visit www.clayburnservices.com or make it easy and give Jeff a call at 780-910-6728.
Afternoon just got a little bit more sweet. Burn and salad brings the heat while Gator brings the jerky meat. For everything Oilers, tune into the oil stream. And if that ain't enough, don't miss 2 guys and a walkie. If you're looking for insiders, tune in for Darren Dreger. If it's the NFL you're into, check out the coach, Herm Edwards. ESP Hangout with Tommy and Maddie. Adding judgment to them makes the shows more classy and chatty. Even Reed Wilkins joined the ESG crew with Jamie Ryder, shotgun and providing the glue. Orange and blue and green and gold, green post game. Listening to our teams, they never gonna be the same. ESG rules E-Town with guys who got the right stuff. Folks like J.J. Brown and a Robin William Love. We're sponsored by Impact like A&W and Damon Bunting like McDavid and Ben Affleck. ESG's always big as hunting. ESG and suffering from a sophomore slump. But if you're so inclined, they say the booty blues bum. The Italian Center, that's good. I go to Pro and Post every day if I could. ESG's on location in your neighborhood. The morning show will give you your morning wood. There are too many shows to mention, like Riverhawks Weekly and Tommy and Belly on Saturday Hell of Hockey and the VIP Golf Show in the corner couldn't stop. There's so much going on Edmonton Sports Talk. This song's a U2 celebration on and off the court. Hashtag City on shore. ENT's your place for all your Edmonton sports. They got it going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. There's so much going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. They got it going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. There's so much going on at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Man, how good is that cowbell in there? I think Jason Leduc texted in earlier and said, I got a fever, and the only cure is more synthetic cowbell. Real nice. God, I love it. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. That's your sound of the day right there. Spoiler alert. That'll be your sound of the day. Nielson Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. LTE is on VACAY. That's vacay. He's on vacay right now. He'll be back mid to late next week. We'll have a new co-host in with us on Tuesday. We think you're going to like him, at least for a little bit. We'll get to that coming up. South Fort Chev, www.southfortchev.com, presenting sponsor of The Nielson Show. Go check them out. Tell them we sent you. Drive a little, save a lot. It's like 10 minutes from the northeast side of the city. Pop on out there. You'll save $1,000. Well, you get $1,000 credit on your trade-in vehicle if you tell them we sent you. Go see Daniel. Go into Daniel. Say, hey, I'm here to buy a car, and I want to know if you're now still winless in your fantasy league. And we'll see what he says. Coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today, where they've got all types of wings. They've got wings with the bone in. They got wings with the bone out. And they've got all different flavors of wings as well at Popeyes. You're going to absolutely love it. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. It's been a fun show so far. Oilers back-to-back games this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. GCL Diesel pre- and post-game show with Tom Gazzola, Matt Cassian, and Hernan Salas, plus a little sprinkling of Reed Wilkins as well. I mean, I know I'm biased. I know I'm biased, but it's the best post-game coverage you're going to find in the entire city. I don't care. It just is. You got Tom Gazzola. You got a guy who used to do it for over a decade in Reed Wilkins, popping in, breaking things down. You got the spiciest takes in the city in Hernan Salas, and you got a guy who played in the league in Matt Cassian. I'm very proud of what we've built and the job that those guys do on the Oil Stream pre- and post-game show presented by GCL Diesel. So make plans to join the boys. It was fire after that loss to the Jets. And we got Connor versus Connor on Saturday here in town. Saturday is a crazy day because it's the first day that we'll also have Elks pre and post. Same time. Or not same time, but like same day. So the Elks play in the afternoon. I'll be down in Calgary to call that one for TSN. And then later in the day. So we have Elks pre and post game coverage on Saturday. That's coming at you from Century Casino. And then we got Oilers pre and post game coverage as well. Hello Hockey on Saturday, as well as we are your local leader in live sports. All right, who's playing kind of easy trivia today, Trev? Who do we got?
Cards is going to give it a go.
Cards, C-A-R-D-Z.
Yeah.
I've seen this in the chat in the past. Trying to win a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest, most delicious place that you'll ever. You can get the steaks. You can get whatever you want there. The menu's absolutely delicious. It's a good time. It's tasty. All right, let's go to cards. Cards, you ready to play today?
Let's go, fellas.
Let's go, fellas. I like it. I'm going to start the ticker after we read the first question. You're going to deliver a dub on a Friday. I can feel it right now deep in my bones. Here we go.
I'm feeling it.
All right. Which team won the NFL Thursday Nighter?
49ers.
What position does George Kittle play?
Tight end.
How many goals have the Oilers scored this season?
0.
Who do the Elks play tomorrow? Does Trey Ford wear number 2 or 99?
Wait, what?
You got it. We were there. We're home. We're home. You got it.
Oh, is that dirty?
This is not just a dream, it's a wet dream of orgasmic proportions.
Oh, is that dirty?
Frustration sets in and the emotion goes out, and then you just start playing by yourself.
Oh, is that dirty?
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Ah, that was too close. No, you know what? I think I might. No, this is cheating, though. I think I might have to increase the ticker. I think the ticker you have is longer than the ticker I have, Trev. I swear to God.
It is.
Do you want to hit the tickers at the same time?
Yeah, we can do that.
Let's hit the tickers at the same time. You got your ticker up over there?
Yep.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is trippy.
It is. A lot of ticking.
Now let's see. Mine has 15 seconds left.
Yeah. Mine doesn't have the time.
Okay.
It's a spinning wheel. It's halfway done now.
Yours is done?
Halfway done.
Oh, it's only halfway done. Let's see. Whoa!
Mine's longer.
Whoa!
Mine's longer.
Yours is longer.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a controversy.
I've noticed that because, like, whenever you've been gone and I played it, like, it's usually
more than enough
pretty
time.
easy win. Like, there's usually a few, like, 4 or 5 seconds afterwards.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Put that down for what we learned on the show today.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Ticker controversy. All right. So now here's the question. Do we go with my ticker? I don't know. You must have got a ticker from a different place.
I don't know where I got this ticker. But
play your ticker. I want to hear how it sounds just on its own.
Okay.
Okay. Stop your ticker. That's the same ticker.
Same ticker.
How is yours longer than mine? That's interesting.
Well, I don't know.
Wow. Okay. Well, then you know what I say. We got to roll with. We got to roll. Well, I don't know. Nasties, what do you think? Do we go with the longer ticker or the shorter ticker? I knew it was like way more stress to get it done over here than at the old place.
People can get it done with your ticker. That's why I say.
But it's tight. It's tight though.
You got to know it.
I have to have really short questions. Like my questions, there was no question here that had more than like 6 words, and we're still scrambling for time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what the nasties say. Bigger ticker?
My ticker is 21 seconds. Yours must be 25 seconds. You must have a 25-second ticker.
I guess I could have timed it.
Here, I'm going to time it right now. Just a sec. Bring it up. Okay, wait a sec. That's not the timer. That's my calculator. All right, here we go. Stopwatch. Ready? Go. It's got to be a 25-second ticker. 4 seconds is almost an entire extra question. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty significant difference here.
Halfway right now.
Do you have a 30-second ticker? Is this a 30-second ticker?
That's
no, I think it's a 25-second ticker. Here we go. And 25 seconds. It's a 25-second ticker. I think it was supposed to be a 25-second ticker at the old place. I don't know why I'm rolling a 21-second ticker over here. All right, what do we do? Longer ticker, shorter ticker for kind of easy trivia moving forward. I did not have this on the bingo card today.
Yeah, it's nice to finally, like, I knew it. I was curious. But now I know. Mine's bigger. I was always wondering.
All right, we got That Hurts coming up. Let's get into 3 questions too many today for the great staff over at Park Mazda, where Mitch has already texted me saying, I can't believe Trev didn't come up with a liner at 7:30 today. You should fire that guy. And I replied and I said, never. I said, never, Mitch, because I know as soon as I fire you, Mitch is going to hire you because he's a sly dog.
Yep.
He's a sly dog at Park Mazda. Your dealer for life. Trev, do you have a Twitter account?
Yes, I do. You can follow me at YouTube_Trev for all the craziest, most fun things you'll ever see on a Twitter account. Wow. Give me a follow.
What a plug. Man, have you not accidentally clicked on the For You page on Twitter? I don't see how you do much of the stuff that's crazier than comes up on my For You page.
Oh, you're right. I upload the odd photo, and I like it, though.
That's when Twitter started to really take a turn down. When it went to For You, the For You page, and how it automatically pops over there sometimes.
Yeah, I've noticed
I don't want that. The reason I want Twitter is so I can follow people I want to follow. For You page be damned.
Yes. How long ago was that? Was the For You introduced?
Man, it must have been about a year at least.
A year ago it was introduced?
I think so.
So that they got that from TikTok. Because that's where the For You thing all started, was on TikTok.
Well, it's all an algorithm, right, Trev?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is. All right, question number 1. This one came to me last night on Twitter. Which Oiler do you think faces the most pressure this season? Skinner? I think he means Stuart Skinner because he's the goalie. Skinner or Nurse? Fun question. This is not the fan zone right now, but feel free to chime in. 780-218-9999 or over in the nasty chat where we are changing 200.
Changing 200.
And Rookie of the Year is on.
Thank you.
He's on today. Trev, who's facing more pressure this year? Skinner or Nurse?
Oh gosh. Man, that's a toss-up, Dusty. I'd say that obviously Nurse has been facing pressure for years. Stuart Skinner not so much. But it's defense and goaltending, right? Those are issues that the Oilers currently have, in my opinion. But I'd say, man, is it bad? It's still Darnell Nurse.
I think usually in this spot, like if you were to just look generically at any construction of a hockey team, the starting goaltender should have more pressure on them than the second shot left pairing defenseman. But is it different here because they don't really have a second pairing right side defenseman, right? So that just increases. Does that move the needle of, like, if we're looking at it, and if you're listening on TuneIn iHeart, you're not going to see the hand things, but usually a starting goaltender is this much pressure. Second shot left pairing D is about this much pressure. But if there's no such thing as second shot right pair, does that go like this and end up coming pretty close to it?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think that's a good point, Dusty. You changed my mind. I'll have to go with Skinner because you kind of know what, like I said, it's been Nurse. It's been Nurse for years, but eventually it's going to come to the point where it's just like you expect, I don't know, not unless he proves me otherwise, but like it's like you're not going to expect a heck of a whole lot out of him because he's not that guy anymore. So, but you know, Stuart Skinner, you need him to be that guy.
Yeah, and you also need Skinner to make up for Nurse's mistakes.
Yes.
Like when you're the last line
of defense,
it's got to be Skinner.
It is. It's Skinner.
All right, question number 2. If Trey Ford leads the Stamps to victory this week, would that 100% spell the end of Jarius Jackson? I'm not sure the end of Jarius Jackson hasn't already been determined. But I guess what you're saying is if Trey Ford comes out, throws for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, runs for a touchdown, and they beat Calgary, are you going, well, it was such a bad decision to not stick with him that it should cost Jarius Jackson his job? I don't think whatever happens, either way, whether Trey's great or he's not, whether they win or they lose, I don't think it has any impact on the coaching decision being made. I would have to think, well, I don't know who's going to be making that decision, I guess. Unless Larry Thompson as an owner is just going to make the call on everything. But you got to get a president in place, and that president's going to have to probably have a chat with G-Roy and have a chat with Jarius, and at that point maybe make a decision. I just think you've bought the team. They've sucked for years. You have a chance to clean house. I don't know why any businessman in general would not do that. You take over a failing product. Why in the world would you just continue on the course that it's been? That makes no sense. So I don't think it matters. I honestly don't think the results of the final 2 games of the year matter one way or the other for the future of Jarius and G-Roy. Maybe even if, like, let's say Larry Thompson's big fans and he's like, no matter who we bring in to be president, those are my guys. Well, then that's already been determined anyway. So I just don't say, I don't think anything changes over the final 2 games.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, honestly, this is my first season watching the Elks very closely, and it's been fun. I'm a fan. I love it. It's pretty cool, but it blows my mind the decisions that they've made. And like, I side with Matawanek completely. Like, this was the year to find out what you have in Trey Ford, and you still don't know. Like, it blows my mind. And you know, you guys talked about it with the Rough Riders. Trey Ford showed up against them very well, and he doesn't get the nod to start. Like, that's kind of crazy. But now the season's over, so it's like, you know, and it's like you're setting him up for failure. Like, what's he's going to get? You think he's going to be motivated? Like, show him what I got on a game that it just means nothing, essentially. So it's like, it's pretty, like, I don't want to say amateur, but like, it's just give your head a shake. I have no idea what you're doing. And it
seems slightly dysfunctional.
Yeah. And it feels like it's an obvious answer. Like, so I don't know. They definitely got to do something. Thompson, is he going to do that? Time will tell, but something needs to be done.
If Jarius is back next year, Trey will not be here. I 100% guarantee you that. I would be stunned. And I think it goes both ways. I think Trey would want a fresh start if Jarius is back, and Jarius is not going to want Trey Ford to be part of the quarterback room if he's back. So, as disappointing as this season has been, this offseason for the Elks is going to be bloody incredible. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun. Calber says, Dusty for team president. No, not yet. Not ever. But we'll see. I mean, I think, just quickly on the team president front, is the dream scenario not Sean Fleming, president of business operations, Ed Hervey, president of football operations, and the general manager? I think that's the dream scenario for Elks / Double E fans. Correct me if I'm wrong. 780-218-9999. But you know who would make that type of decision? A guy who could be president one day, right? You just know you get called the good shots. I can put that at about a minus 1,000% chance of ever happening. Careful, Trev. That one foamy thing keeps falling off behind you there. Question number 3. It's National Sausage on Pizza Day. So I ask you, is sausage on pizza overrated or underrated? You know, those little round sausage bites?
Chorizo sausage, Italian sausage. Oh, is it overrated or underrated? I'd say properly rated. But I'd maybe like
properly rated. So you're imagining like the bigger chunks of sausage. I'm imagining like the little round sausages.
Yeah, I think that's chorizo.
The little ones that's like balled up. They're like balled up. That's what I'm imagining the sausage being. But there's various types of sausage you can put on a pizza.
That's like my favorite topping to put on a pizza. So I don't think it's overrated at all. If there's like, it'll just make the pizza better. That's the first thing I look at a pizza. That's why I love the all meat pizza, especially the Meteor at Boston Pizzas.
That's my go-to at Boston Pizza, man. Meteor, unbelievable.
Yeah, it is.
And what's that sausage on there? That's chorizo?
Italian.
Italian sausage. Man, I love Italian sausage.
Me too. So I think it's properly rated. It's the best topping.
Best topping? Okay, well then I think you're overrating it a little bit.
No.
So you would rather have a pizza with only sausage and cheese as opposed to pepperoni and cheese?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because the sausage is always, you get more meat. Pepperoni tends to be
get
thin,
more meat, yeah.
right? And I like that.
Huh.
So I like lots of meat on my pizza. That's exactly what sausage is.
Rob says overrated.
What?
Yeah, see, Jody, sausage crumble. I'm the sausage crumble guy. You know, you can go to that place, Blaze Pizza?
Yep.
LeBron place. Blaze Pizza, they got that sausage crumble. That's what I'm talking about. I like that on pizza.
A lot of the sausage crumble tends to be Italian sausage. Just crumbled up. Yeah.
Well, then, like I said, I like Italian sausage.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's properly rated.
All right, what do you think?
Maybe even
Underrated. Well, if you think it's the best,
yeah, I guess
that you would think it's underrated then, because I don't think if Lieutenant Eric was here today doing a weekly rankings of power and he's ranking pizza toppings, he put pineapple at the top just to be hilarious. But outside of that, I don't think it would be as high on the list as you would have it.
That's fair.
So it's probably a little bit underrated. This one's in sausage on pizza is way underrated. Love some good sausage on pizza. That's in from Bretsky.
Thank you.
This morning as well.
Most overrated topping from Ducky.
Most overrated? Wow.
I don't know about that.
Holy smokes. You know what? I'll tell you right now what the most overrated topping is on pizza. Ham.
Yeah.
That's why I hate pineapple pizza. I don't like pineapple and I don't like ham.
That's a fair take, Dusty.
You know how many better meats there are to put on a pizza than ham? Pepperoni, sausage, bacon, probably other various meats, but not ham, man.
Yeah.
I don't, even with like some of the bigger slices of it or just the little chunks of ham. Gross.
Yeah, it's the flavoring isn't quite like there's no seasoning. You know, it's just
There's
ham.
nothing. It's just ham. It's just like some sort of weird.
It's a good point.
Product. 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up. Matt says, "Hey Dusty, did you read to Marshall's class or is that coming up?" I went in and read yesterday between shows, between the Nielson Show and the Lock Shop. I drove at a moderate speed over to the kids' school. Went in and read Marshall's class and Elizabeth's class. I did the double dip, and I read Jed Roberts' book that we have in the office here. And I have to say, very good book with a very good message. If you've not checked out that book that Jed Roberts, I knew who put it together with him, Jeff McQuinney, who's the keeper of the Grey Cup. But it was a real nice story about being inclusive in sports, and I thought it was terrific. It was a great message. So, you know what's weird is that I do this show every day, do Lock Shop every day, Two Guys or Oil Stream every day. I've hosted banquets with thousands of people. Do CFL on TSN every weekend to like 500,000 homes. And I was very nervous to read to a grade 4 and a grade 2 class yesterday. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because my kids were there and I wanted them for like the other kids to think that their dad is cool.
Didn't want to mess up.
Well, and I did. The first book I read, and I should read the book before I actually read the book. I hadn't read the book. I kind of just opened up, started reading. And I love children's books that rhyme, right? I'm a big Dr. Seuss guy. So I love children's books. I didn't realize that this book had a rhyming pattern to it until like the second page. I was like, "Oh, we're rhyming! Genius. Brilliant!" But I did mix up one word. But that was it. Outside of that, I was like 99% with reading yesterday.
That's good.
Yeah,
happens to the best of us.
But I was, I don't know. I got nervous reading in front of a class of 25 7-year-olds, and so then after I go, "Do you have any questions?" Sure enough, the one little girl. "How old are you?" I was like, "I'm 43. She goes, "Oh, my grandma lived till she was 95. I said, "Awesome. My grandpa lived till he was 103. What do you think about that?"
Yeah, true.
And then the other kid, the one kid's like, "Are you serious?" I was just, and then so it basically turned into a conversation about how old all of our grandparents were when they died. So I probably could have twisted that a little bit better, but what are you going to do?
Those conversations are the best.
It's a grade 2 and grade 4 class.
Yeah, that's so adorable.
It was a lot of fun. I could be a teacher for like a week. I think after a week, I'd be, you know what? Let's get back to talking sports for a minute.
Maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Kind of wanted to be like a gym teacher growing up.
Who didn't?
Yeah. Like,
I swear to God, when we went to high school, a bunch of us went over to college and like university in Lethbridge. 90% of my friends went into kinesiology because they were going to be a gym teacher.
Yeah.
You know how many of them are gym teachers? Zero. But you know what they have? They have actually all developed like awesome careers, like business owners and stuff, but none of them became a gym teacher.
Yeah. Interesting.
Well, it's the one job you want as a teacher.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like that would
especially in high school.
That would be pretty cool. Like,
playing dodgeball.
Just
every day.
So much fun. So much fun. We had Mr. Y. You know Mr. Y. Yeah. He was very competitive even in gym class against like grade 9 students, which is probably the exact way that I'd approach it. It was a lot of fun. All right, we got an update coming up. Then we're going to do That Hurts. Then we're going to dive into Beer of the Week. So that's all coming up between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Let's get to a sports update for Sit and Sleep. I think that's where Eric woke up this morning on his vacation. He woke up at Sit and Sleep. Surprise! Lieutenant Eric's there. The boys are going to be on location at Sit and Sleep next week. More details on that on the Reed Wilkins Show a little bit later on today. Let's get to this update right now with Lieutenant Eric. Oh, sorry, Trev. YouTube Trev. Force a habit. Force a habit, Trev.
That hurts. This past year's first overall pick, Macklin Celebrini, made his NHL debut last night against the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini registered a goal and an assist in a 5-4 loss coming at the hands of the St. Louis Blues. Celebrini became the first overall pick to score a goal in their debut since Austin Matthews back in 2016. Elsewhere in the NHL, the Bruins defeated the Habs 6-4, the Ottawa Senators beat the reigning Stanley Cup champs by the score of 3-1, and the Toronto Maple Leafs got their first win of the season over Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils by the score of 4-2. And yesterday in Thursday Night Football, the San Francisco 49ers defeat the Seattle Seahawks by the score of 36-24. Both teams now sit with a 3-3 record on the season. Tonight, no games in the NFL, but there is some CFL action as the 8-7 Toronto Argonauts look to snap the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' 8-game winning streak tonight at 6:30 in Winnipeg. In the majors, Mattawanak's New York Yankees have clinched a berth in the American League Champions Series on Thursday night after a 3-1 win over the Kansas City Royals. The last time the Yankees made it to the ALCS was in 2022 when they got swept by the Astros. Also in the majors, the Cleveland Guardians kept their season alive with a 5-4 win over the Detroit Tigers. With last night's win, Cleveland ended an 11 straight losses in postseason elimination games. And tonight in the majors, only one game. It's the Padres in LA to take on the Dodgers, and winner of this one will advance to the NLCS to play the New York Mets. And lastly, in Edmonton, it's McDavid versus Bedard, Oilers versus Blackhawks. Both teams look to get their first wins of the season tomorrow night. Puck drop for that one is at 8 o'clock. And Trey Ford and the Edmonton Elks head down south for a game against the Calgary Stampeders. The last time these teams played each other, the Elks came out victorious with a 37-16 win. The wait is over. Sit and Sleep is now open. Celebrate with 20,000 square feet of savings on the trendiest furniture, home decor, and mattresses. Apply for your Sit and Sleep card today to make no payment for 18 months, interest-free, and be entered to win your purchase up to $5,000 on furniture and home decor. Next to Planet Fitness in South Edmonton Common.
Eyes. You know what? I saw it in his eyes. Eyes. It's fun to watch his eyes. Eyes. And, he narrowed his eyes. He's been a horse. His eyes narrow. I saw it in his eyes.
I've been meaning to tell you. I've got this feeling that won't subside.
He loves his eyes.
I look at you and I
Eyes. It's going in the net. Horse eyes. People were highly critical of his eyes. His eyes narrow. Eyes. Eyes.
Dallas Aikens Eyes remix. Had to do it after Ducky found a Dallas Aikens golf ball at a golf course in Southern California and sent us a picture of it. Next chance to qualify for the EST Flyaway to Los Angeles. Coming up just after 9 o'clock on the Hangout with Matthew Owanek and glue guy Jay Milne, I think, is in today on the Hangout. I don't know who else. I don't know who the third person is on the Hangout today, but that's coming up. You also have a chance to qualify on EST afternoons every day from 1 to 3 right here with Joaquin Gage and Hernan Salas, and then from 3 to 6 with the Reed Wilkins Show. So 3 more opportunities to qualify for the EST Flyaway to L.A. We got Sobeys Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week coming up here in about 5 minutes. We'll get into that. Let's dive into That Hurts right now, right here on the Nielson Show. Heartbreaking moment last night. That Hurts is brought to you by James H. Brown, the heavy hitters of injury law. If you've been injured in an accident, you go to jameshbrown.com and Trent's team over there will look after you. jameshbrown.com if you've been injured in an accident. So, I was talking a little bit earlier today about how that St. Louis Blues comeback against the San Jose Sharks last night cashed a pretty nice ticket with me, for me, I should say, with our partners over at CoolBet. You know what really hurt last night, though? If you were riding with us yesterday from the Lock Shop, we had a partner parlay that we put together, which was JSN on Seattle over 4.5 catches. He had 5. It was a George Kittle touchdown. He got the touchdown. In fact, he had 2. Real nice read from Pat Gregoire on that one. However, the third and final leg of the parlay was Jordan Mason to lead the game in rushing yards. That's all we needed. Just had to, it wasn't like he didn't have to get to 70 or 80. He just had to lead the game in rushing yards. And he was. When the game was pretty much over, he was leading the game in rushing yards. We basically already cashed the parlay. We were waiting. We were all night long. We're sitting there going, we just need that catch. We need that fifth catch from Smith-Njigba. And then what happened? In garbage time, the rookie that none of us had ever heard of, Isaac Guerrero, with nothing on the line, runs the ball 76 yards, slides at the end of the play, just because, the game's essentially over. Those 76 yards take him beyond Mason's 73 and takes Mason from leading the game in rushing right off the board with a garbage time run that nobody saw coming. That hurts. You could tell the heartbreak in our group chat. And for anybody, and there would have been a bunch of you from the lock shop yesterday who were riding with us on that one. That right there, that's like an all-time bad beat. It looked like a sure deal. Prior to that run, Guerrero had 23 yards. He had 23 yards. We had a 50-yard cushion. And then it goes and gets taken away just like that. An absolute killer. Luckily for me, the Sharks suck, and the Blues comeback salvaged my night. But that was tough. So then I also get a text yesterday. This hurts a little bit too. Bruce from William Huff texted me yesterday after the show. He goes, hey, I was talking with Trent today, right after the conversation about how many jackets he has. And but Bruce didn't tell me if he asked him about the jackets. He kind of teased me. He's like, I was talking to him right after you were talking about how many jackets he owns. I was expecting Bruce to be like, I asked him, and he said he owns 115 suit jackets. Because I set the over-under at like 79 and a half. I figure a guy's got probably 80 jackets. There's 365 days in a year. I'm pretty sure Trent is at a charity event, 370 of them. So you got to have the jackets. And Bruce never passed that information along to me. So that hurt a little bit yesterday, too. When he texted me, he goes, I was with Trent. I did the old Chris Farley thing where you look up and you're like, he's going to tell me the jackets. And then we text about something else. And I'm like, what was that? So that hurt as well. James H. Brown is giving away a VIP ticket package right now on their Facebook page. Bruce Springsteen, VIP ticket package. Just go to Facebook, search James H. Brown, join the page, then you share it, you tag a friend, you make sure you're following, and you go into this mix for this amazing package, VIP tickets to go see the boss. They also got a UFC one coming down the pipe right now as well. I haven't checked that out yet. I don't know if that's launched or it's coming up, but UFC VIP ticket package with that James H. Brown Facebook page as well. But yeah, that hurt. That hurt. Big time. All right. Let's get into Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. You got the beer anthem over there, Trev? Yeah. Let's do it. Let's hit it. Let's get this set up. Easy transition today. Actually, I might have it. Nope. You must have it. Yeah. We played it last week. Give it to me. Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. If you've not been following along since we launched Edmonton Sports Talk last September, we have Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. This segment every week available as its own podcast on the platform, all your platforms, wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. That way, if you absolutely hate the rest of our content and the rest of our show, you can just go and only listen to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor Beer of the Week. So find that on all the podcasts and platforms. Segments always packaged and put out on our YouTube channel as well. We've got Cole Boyd from Bent Stick, very popular brewery, joining us today. Trev, can you make sure his mic's fired up? How you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. We got like that. I know we're going to talk about the Unity Brew Alberta Beer Week. We're going to get into let's start with that. But I do want to dive into what you got going on Ben Stick as well. But tell me about the Unity Brew. Who comes together for this, and what is Alberta Beer Week?
Yeah, so we kick Alberta Beer Week off every year with the Alberta Small Brewers Convention. So we just had that at the West in downtown.
Oh, nice.
And so there's some information sessions and some casual social. And then after is the Alberta Beer Awards. And so 2 nights ago, we had the Alberta Beer Awards, and my voice is still gone from it.
Wow. So it was that good of time.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
And so then today is sort of the official start of Alberta Beer Week for the non-industry folk. And so back in August, we got together at Blind Man Brewing with all the Alberta Small Brewers Association members who wanted to come down. We brewed this Unity Brew here, and this year we did a Vienna Lager. And so I should probably know, but I don't remember how long we've been doing this for. It's probably been 10, 12 years that we've been doing this Unity Brew. And so someone hosts, and all of the ingredients, the packaging supplies, the kegs, everything are donated. And we get together, we have a few beers, and we brew the beer and get to visit with one another and hang out. It's a pretty close-knit community, so it's good to have this sort of those things.
When you're putting together the Unity Brew, do you just you bring a bunch of different beers and just sort of mix them together and find one that works? You're like, hey, let's make this.
It's more of the, hey, let's make this.
Okay.
There's a committee that sits down and it's like, well, we made this last year, we made this the year before. Maybe people would want this, or this would be a fun thing that's going on, or a supplier wants to highlight this ingredient. They're going to donate it all. Stuff like that.
Okay. No, that's good.
Yeah. This year it's a Vienna lager, so kind of like an amber brown lager.
Okay. Well, let's try it. Let's start with this. We'll try these other ones that you brought here too, but let's dive into this Unity Brew.
Yeah. So this is brewed at Blind Man Brewing in Lacombe. They were nice enough to donate all their time and supplies.
Shout out to Blind Man.
Yeah. And Unity Brew is always funny because there's 2 people that do all of the work, and the rest of us get to stand around and be like, "Oh yeah, nice work you're doing over here."
No, I don't want to take a shot here, but city workers.
Yeah.
It's basically what Unity Brew is, right? I think
it's our tryout to be a city worker.
Yeah. Sorry, city workers. Low blow, but it was a real easy reference, so I took advantage of it.
Yeah. So it's just a nice amber color.
Why is it called Vienna? What's the deal with that?
It would have originated in that Vienna region in Europe.
So it's slightly different than.
Yeah. And so there's a type of malt that goes in there, the Vienna malt, which is that sort of darker barley malt.
Well, cheers to Unity Brewing. Hey, that's a good cause.
Yeah, a little toasty, a little easy.
Is that the word for it? Toasty?
Yeah, kind of like that. You get a little almost like a bread crust sort of flavor coming off it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good way to describe it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not super heavy. You can drink a bunch of them. And all of the proceeds from this go to the Small Brewers Association. So
okay.
And they do a bunch of work just advocating for us to have.
How many members are tell me about that Brewers Association.
I think there's 130 breweries in Alberta now, and 80 members or something like that. So
are the other 50 a rogue organization, and is there back alley fights?
There's no, it's good.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I had to ask. Very curious about that.
Yeah, the hard-hitting questions.
Where do you come out on sausage on pizza?
Well, I'm pro sausage.
Yeah. I think most of us are pro sausage. It's just a different level. I'm not anti-sausage by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, but he's very pro sausage.
Your point of it being removed from the casing for the crumble is the move, though.
That's the crumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want the sausage crumble. I think that's the big one. Yeah. All right, what else you bring in?
Yeah, because we're here for Alberta Beer Week and celebrating Unity Brew. I brought a couple other beers one from ourselves with the Haymaker, and then brought a beer from Blind Men and their double CDA, which won an award at the awards on Wednesday.
Very nice.
And then a beer from Polyrhythm. They're just kind of
we've had them in. Yeah,
they're good folks. Make a mean hot dog, and their beers are awesome too.
The bent stick, that green label is very, very, very familiar. You guys have that at a bunch of different places.
Yeah, it's kind of all around. It won the third best beer in Alberta on Wednesday. So we're pretty
congratulations!
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. What was the best beer? Remember?
Alley Cat and Fallen Timber Meadery made a big Doppelbock.
Really?
Like a 8% dark lager.
A Doppelbock?
Yeah.
The hell is that?
Yeah.
Sounds like a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah. Pollinator was the name of it.
The Pollinator.
Yeah.
And we're partners with Alley Cat. I haven't even tried this Pollinator yet. We're going to get our hands on that. Yeah. All right. Let's try your guys' first.
Sweet.
I've had this a few times at golf courses. You have it at a few golf courses.
Starting to get around a little bit.
Pretty sure I've seen it at a few golf courses. Yeah. Oh, that's good. What was this one? This is
This is the Haymaker. It's a weeded lager. Yeah.
All right. A weeded lager.
Yeah.
Is there another name for a weeded lager? Or is it just?
No, I think we kind of made it up.
Okay.
And
big pours today. Hey, Trev, this is real nice. Yeah, ever since we put these bigger glasses over there, we're basically just having 4 beers in the morning, which is which is a little bit different than the shots we used to have. So is this your staple? Like what's
it's our pale yellow beer we brew all the time. So I think we've done like 12 different recipe tweaks on this, making it the lager we want to have every day.
How much of a noticeable, like each tweak from tweak to, I'm sure from 1 to 12, it's a big difference, but how much do you actually notice? Like what I noticed that.
Yeah,
You
would have like from batch 1 to batch 2, it was a pretty big one. And then it got narrower and narrower and narrower until you're just kind of like in the weeds minutia kind of thing. But.
All right. Beautiful. Let's cheers to Lieutenant Eric, who's on, on vacation for the
Shout
next
out to
vacation.
Let's go.
Man.
Yeah, it's just a delightful beer.
It's just easy drinking.
Based off the scent, the taste is quite different.
We call it the nose.
The nose,
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The nose
on that
of this
one.
one's
Man.
different from the taste. I like this a lot. Wow.
Yeah, it's crisp and easy drinking. We use a hop called Saphir, kind of gives some like green melon and floral notes.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's that from?
Germany.
Really? So you guys bring it over for Germany?
Yeah. There's
on a big boat?
I assume it comes.
It must come on a boat.
Yeah, I've never jumped aboard myself.
I would think probably boat and then truck, possibly train. Who knows?
Yeah, usually truck.
Yeah. So when you guys bring some in, how much would you bring in to like run a batch of this stuff?
Like there's probably like 15, 20 kilos that goes into like a batch of one
into
of
a batch of this. Okay.
But say you do that 12 times a year.
Yeah.
So it all goes to a big warehouse in like the Lower Mainland, and then we truck it from there.
Okay, trucked in. Nice. All right, where are we going next? What are we going to do?
Go down the street to Paul.
Okay.
And so this is their mixed tape hazy IPA.
Did you say they've got great hot dogs?
Great hot dogs.
Really?
Yeah. Stu Chell is taking over their food program there. And
what's so special about the hot dog? Describe it to me.
He makes the hot dog. So like the tube steak is
like he makes a like what?
Yeah, like from scratch. It's artisanal tube steaks.
So if I was to go there and order a hot dog, he'd make it on the spot, kind of.
Well, like the dog is
makes
meat,
it. Yeah. But he makes it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's
kind of neat.
Yeah, they've got some French-inspired hot dog with like blue cheese and stuff on it now. Like,
what?
Yeah.
Wow, real fancy hot dog place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good beer, obviously.
Yeah, great beer, and the bougie glizzy.
And what's this one?
This is the mixtape hazy IPA.
I think we might have had this one before.
Yeah, I think so. Chelsea's a really good brewer over there. She's on the board of the Small Brewers Association.
Okay.
Does a bunch of work. And
just like your favorite old school mixtape, we made you a compilation using some of our favorite hops. Big berry and fresh. Oh, wow. Big berry and fresh orange citrus with a gentle bitterness. Okay.
Bunch of wordsmiths.
Yeah, no doubt. What are you smelling there? What are we smelling there? What are you getting?
Well, there's some citrus for sure.
Definitely the citrus. I'm trying. What was the berry they said?
Big berry.
Just big berry. All right. Cheers. Here, let's cheers to the Edmonton Oilers' first regular season win coming up later this weekend.
You know it. Perfect.
Okay, this is a very interesting beer.
Yeah, it's quite tasty.
Yeah, that is. I was expecting to kind of get punched in the face, but it's super smooth.
Yeah,
it's almost like an orange juice.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing with these hazy IPAs is like, mid 2000s they got the bad name of IPAs are all like bitter and rip.
Is that when that was mid 2000s?
Yeah, we got in this like hops arms race and tried to make beer the most bitter thing possible. We tricked everyone that it was a good idea.
It's like the Monday Night Wars of wrestling.
Yeah,
hops arms race. I love it.
And then we were like, oh, they can be delicious without being punny and bitter, and that's sort of
there's
where this
no
came
bitterness
around.
to this at all, really.
No.
That's what when I said punch in the face, I was expecting some bitterness, but it doesn't exist in this. Wow.
Yeah, she's good at what she does over there.
That is really good. Awesome. All right, now let's Blind Man. What do we got from Blind Man?
Blind Man, I brought a big one. They won an award with this. It's 7.6%, and it's like this one will be more bitter, but it's called a Cascadian Dark Ale, so it's like dark and hoppy.
Holy smokes! So how many different categories are there at these beer awards?
I want to say, there was 500 beers, over 500 beers submitted, and there would have, I think there was like 20 some categories.
Really?
And then,
that's pretty impressive then.
It was pretty fun
to win an award there. It's What are the awards? You get a plaque or something?
Yeah. There's like these little
a bronzed beer. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, there's the Canada Beer Cup where you actually get like a trophy you can drink out of, which is that.
I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Everything should probably be along those lines. All right, let's take a look at this can here for Blind Man. Oh, look at this. What's better than a long weekend? 4 of them. That makes sense. We love the vibe and excitement and pure juiciness of DIPAs.
The double IPA.
The double IPA. Okay. DIPA? Is that what we call them? A DIPA? Cool. Yeah. So we're going to do a DIPA for every long weekend. Another something. Okay, this makes sense. Cascadian Double Dark IPA. Oh, boy. She is dark, isn't she?
Yeah, they won an award for this beer. And then, Polyrhythm got like 3 on Wednesday. So
3 awards?
Yeah.
Wow.
Edmonton showed out pretty well at the awards. It was pretty fun to see.
Good. Take that, Calgary.
Let's go. LT would love this one.
Cheers to Edmonton being the beer leader in the province.
Hell yeah.
Is that 2 bowls?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'll take it.
Okay,
City of Champions. Let's go.
Lieutenant Eric would love this. You're right. See, every time I have a dark beer, I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be super stout. It's like a stout. Like that's in my mind.
Yeah.
That's not what this is, though. I don't think.
No. This is, it's a hoppy IPA. I mean, it's got those darker malts like a stout would have, but it's not Guinness.
No, it's not Guinness.
Yeah.
That's why Eric would love this, because he's always just putting out pictures at like 11 o'clock at night somewhere random with a Guinness.
Spin the G.
Yeah, no, this is good.
Oh,
it's really good.
Winter's right around the corner. Right by a fire. This is awesome. I really like this.
You like to have fires outdoor in the winters?
Or like inside the house.
Oh, inside the house.
Yes.
Oh, by a fireplace.
Yes.
Look at you. What is this saying? Bougie?
With a rocking chair.
With a fireplace? A very
this is
bougie
good.
boy.
This is really good.
No, this is this is nice. This is great stuff, man. Thanks very much for bringing the by. Now, the Unity Brew, that's the beer of the week.
Yeah.
It's on special, $14.99.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal on it. And all the proceeds go to supporting small local beer in Alberta. A lot of us are using more and more malt that's grown here and malted here. And
so has the production levels of that, has that increased because of how much the industry has grown here? Like, are people setting up shop and banging out more of that?
Yeah. So there's a couple, specifically in this Unity Brew, there's Hogarth Malt and Redshed Malting out of Panhold and Olds. And they're just small family farms, and then started to take their own production and then malt it and bring it up. And so they sort of give us new flavors to play with. And those have opened up sort of in the Redshed's 10 years this year. So
awesome, man. Okay, awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Having me.
If you are listening right now or watching right now, text Beer Me to 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. We got a $50 gift card to Sobeys and Safeway Liquor. So if you want that, text Beer Me right now. We'll let you slide out, man. We're going to wrap up the show. And we got the hangout coming up here right away. You'll see with the rest of these beers, we have a nice beer fridge right around the corner there. We're going to throw these in. That's, man, these are all 4 of them. And I'm not a dark beer guy, but that dark double IPA, buddy, that's pretty good beer. Eric would absolutely love this beer.
We'll
save this for him.
We have to.
These 2 right here. Belsy, if you're watching when you come in on Wednesdays and take beer, don't touch these 2. Those are for us. Those are for LT. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. What did we learn on the show today, buddy?
I think we all know what we learned. My ticker.
Your ticker is longer than my ticker.
It's bigger, longer, yes, exactly.
I don't know why that's a thing, though.
I don't know.
I don't know how.
I don't know who installed the ticker.
Yeah, because I would have just sent this ticker. Did you hear about this, Iwanek? Huge controversy today. So the ticker that I play for Kind of Easy Trivia is 21 seconds. The ticker on that board is 25 seconds. We timed it all out today. I don't know how.
My ticker is bigger.
It's just, it doesn't make any sense. That ticker is 4 seconds longer than this ticker.
Pretty cool.
So now we're going to have to use that ticker all the time. 25 seconds.
Did you install the ticker?
I put the ticker on here.
Yeah, but did I send you the ticker?
Sure it's 25 seconds?
Yep. It is. We timed it. We actually timed it on the air.
They were the exact same.
No, that's the thing. It can't be the same file.
I would have been a file you gave.
I know, but this ticker's 21 seconds. It doesn't. There's Tickergate. I don't understand. But that ticker is long. We did learn that on the show today. That was a pretty big one.
We helped some people this week.
What's that?
It didn't help that one guy this week.
No, I know.
That guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Silly guy. I didn't know what he was doing.
We also learned that John T and Victoria is coming after back-to-back Esties. It's your sound of the day. John T and Victoria, EST Year 2. Great tune.
give you your morning wood. There are too many shows to mention, like Riverhawks Weekly and Tommy and Belly on Saturday Hell Hockey and the VIP Golf Show with McCord and Good and Stop. There's so much going on Edmonton Sports Talk. This song's a year to celebration on and off the court. Hashtag City Association, it's your number one source. Standing on the shoulders of Holly and John Shore. EFT's your place for all your Edmonton sports. They got it going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. There's so much going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. They got it going on at Edmonton Sports Talk. There's so much going on at Edmonton Sports Talk.
Sorry, I got carried away. I love the cowbell in the new Johnston Victoria song. Another contender for it's October 11th. We've got at least 3 songs, if not more, that could win an Esty for Song of the Year. It's that simple. All right, let's get to your text of the day today. It comes in from Big Slam Nasty. He's going to win text of the day. Trev, you got this? Throw it into the system. Big Slam Nasty. Congratulations. You're winning a gift certificate. A&W, where they have put... You know, after Beer of the Week today, I might go get Trev and I a couple Team Burgers, not going to lie. Hey, would that not hit right now? Ruffles Crunch Team Burger, cheddar and sour cream chips jammed into a Team Burger, or a Buddy Crunch for just $4.99. Try one today, your neighborhood A&W. Big Slam Nasty's going to get text of the day today. Trey Ford is going to hit the DX crotch chop on Jarius Jackson after leading Edmonton to a victory this weekend. Can you imagine that? I'll call it. I will.
Please do.
I will.
That would be all time.
Yeah.
And what's this?
And Trey Ford says, you can suck it. Look, there's just, I mean, if he does it, I'd call it. I would call everything I see on TSN, but I don't think he'll do that, but that's a funny text. It's still a funny text regardless.
Oh, if that happens, could you imagine, like, would you approach that with a serious approach or be like, oh my God, what is happening?
I mean, I'd probably full-blown Jim Rossett from back in the day. He's hit him! Yeah. Degeneration X!
Strikes again.
I don't think that happens, but it's going to be your text of the day, Big Slam Nasty. Trey Ford is going to hit the DX crotch chop on Jarius Jackson after leading the Elks to a victory. Whatever you think about the whole quarterback situation in Edmonton, that's a funny text. Congratulations. Very good. All right, what are we watching tonight? What do you got tonight, Trev? What are you keeping eyes on?
That was a good question. I'll have to check NHL.com right now. I don't know. What am I watching here? Let's see. What are the games tonight?
I'll probably dabble in the Argos and Bombers game a little bit. I'll be in Calgary tonight, so I'll probably watch a little bit of that while we have some dinner. NHL tonight, Chicago, Winnipeg. That's interesting because we just saw the Oilers play Winnipeg, and Chicago's coming to town. They get Chicago on a back-to-back. Man, they have to win on Saturday. Simple as that.
Feeling confident in that one. There's also the Dodgers and Padres. That's going to be a big one. Winner advances.
Oh, yeah,
Winner takes
my Padres.
all. So that'll be a big one. But yeah, if you're an Oilers fan, obviously we got a lot of them. That'll be a good game to tune into. It's fun. Like I found I love watching the talent in the NHL. So I was tuning in, even though it was Utah and Chicago. Like I was just eyes glued on Connor Bedard. I want to see what this guy can do. It's fun. So I'm looking forward to that on Saturday. It's going to be awesome. But I'll be tuning into that one as well.
Yeah, I'll be watching later today the odds couple.
Oh yeah.
As Zach and Trev are about to have a thumb wrestle competition here at the office. It'll be a good one. Hangouts locked and loaded, ready to go. So make sure you stick around for that. That's happening from 9 to 11 right here today. Fun show. We did miss LT. I mean, he's such a legend. On Tuesday, we have a new co-host sliding in. Not forever. Calm down. LT's on vacation for a couple more days. We're going to throw somebody else in that chair over there starting on Tuesday. We think you're going to like it, especially if you get frustrated with people who drive without their headlights on. For YouTube, Trev, I am Dustin Nielson. The Hangout is coming up. We'll talk to you on the Lock Shop. Huge NFL Lock Shop show today. You're definitely going to want to be a part of that. That's coming up at 11 o'clock today, right here on EST. I will talk to you then. Take it easy.